bring you this week's Flight Sim news with thanks to SayIntentions. We check out a preview of iniBuilds London City, a Tecnam P-Mentor, the Aircraft and Avionics Update 4, and Vasco from MSFS addons.com joins us for a chat.
Snoozy snooze.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Welcome to the news. Hope you're all keeping well. The middle of the week. Be Janie. It's the last Wednesday before, I go to Expo. Brilliant. And, well, listen. It's 13 degrees here in Tipperary, so, it'll be grand now and all of that. But you're all very welcome aboard. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you had a great day. And yes, tonight's a busy one. We get to chat with Vasco from MSFSaddons.com. That's where we get all our news from. So it's going to be interesting to have a chat with Vasco, to learn about his story, how he got involved in bringing us all the news. But also, when you write articles based on the add-ons and stuff that we see, hardware or software, I'd love to get kind of his opinion on how things are going in the world of flight simulation. So we'll be chatting to Vasco soon. We're also going to be checking out a preview build of the upcoming iniBuilds London City. iniBuilds, doesn't matter, it's London City and it looks gorgeous. London, baby! Right, then friends, we have a brand new airplane, this one here behind me, the Tecnam P-Mentor, which is available now in the marketplace. I picked it up and we're going to take it for a quick spin, and then we're going to be checking out the Aircraft and Avionics 4, the massive update that has seen 4 aircraft transformed, kinda, with some bugs, into Flight Sim 2024. So it's going to be a busy one. Right, and as I say, we're going to be exploring a brand new feature as well from SayIntentions. So I need to get me timing right. I'm going to plan a flight. If I don't get it done this week, we'll do it after Expo. But it's all about the new Skynet capabilities with X-Plane. Ooh, we're going to be checking that out. But we're going to talk a little bit about it this evening. SayIntentions, of course, they're ramping up for Flight Sim Expo next week, and there's all sorts of things going on. The lads are flat out, considering they've said they're going to have announcements to make at the event itself. They've been just releasing things, tweaking things, updating other things, all in the background. And I can't wait. I don't know what they're going to say. I'm very excited though. Right. But anyway, we will pause for a moment for a fallen brother. Right, poor old Gibbo is not well this evening. Thoughts going out from the poor old Diffel. It was a bad knockout he got now. Terrible, right. So we're thinking of you. If you're watching this live, you poor Diffel. If you're watching it in the future, we really do love you. Right? Brilliant. But anyway, I hope you guys are all keeping well. And yes, we have our new check-in feature, ! Check-in, all one word, space, and then your location. We don't need an exact one. Red city or town will do. And hopefully then Sir Murph Bot, well, he'll do the rest. You see. So I did a little bit more on it. I'll show you as well. I was chatting away. Also, I had a little bit of time today. PH Roy, or just Roy, as we now know. Roy has made this freeware utility, right? And he's been kind of tweaking away at it. It's over on our add-ons channel in Discord. Some very handy stuff gone into this. So we'll try and get a look at that tonight as well. If not, I will save some space for it next Tuesday because we're going to do our next week's Flight Sim News next Tuesday. Because this time next week, I'll be in the sky. I should have said in disguise. I won't be in disguise. I'll be in the sky. I'll be in the back of an Airbus A321. Oh, Jesus. Right. So that's the plan. But anyway, how are you getting on? Are you as well? You're looking well. So we'll jump here into the chat. Say hello to everybody. And that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button completely. Look what I did. I did it twice. That's better. That's better. So we'll ramble and say hello. Marigin is here. Ah, Jesus. He's off again. Marigin the Mangler. that's what it is, Marigin. Marigin the Mangler. I love it. He's going to punch me. Good to see you, buddy, and happy Wednesday. CP65 is in the chat. A very good evening to you. North Coast Mike, welcome in, buddy. Muse Fan is here. He bursts through the door with someone else's elbow. He says how he is, his mad jokes, his happy Wednesday. Norse Viking, good evening. Frozen Gamer is here. Flipper Alloy, happy Wednesday. Eamon 1973, good day to you, sir. Hope all is well. Filthy is here. Andy 11, good to see you. Hermit Something, a very good afternoon to Boston. Hope you're well, Hermit. And good evening to you. Crafty Tigers is in the house. Welcome aboard. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce. And Wolfie, welcome, man. Vacuum, good to see you. Soaring AJ, welcome aboard. Yeah, you need to put in exclamation point, check in, and then space, and then where you're from, right? Or where you are. The boys say a very good evening. Lurking in the background tonight. Ooh, Mac Vision, how are you? The Impossible Face, News. Welcome in, buddy. Commander Balash is in the chat. Good to see you, my man. Hope all is well. Liptorius is here. McManster, good evening. Sumner is in the house. It's still HAB with rain in Naples, Florida. Big up then. The HAB syndrome. Hot as balls. Right. Too much money has been spent lately. It's not going to get any better tonight, Eamon. There's stuff. There's cools. Jesus. There's stuff. Jesus. There's stuff happening at an alarming rate. Buttons. Where was I now? I'm lost. Oh wait, I found it again. Vasco, you absolute mad devil, you. 10 gifted tier 1 subs going out to our community here on Twitch from Vasco over at MSFSaddons.com. Thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, with thanks to Vasco, do be sure to say thank you. Top man. Idle Cutoff, Cambridge calling. I nearly said Cambridge. 13 degrees in Tipperary, Idle Cut Off. Two Dogs, a very good evening to you. Now, let me see. Turn down the radio there now. Who else come in? Is it Pieder? Welcome aboard. I hope I pronounced that right. It could be just better. Welcome in. Super Typhon. Feels hot, man. 21 degrees, Super Ty. Jesus. It's 21 degrees inside in the man cave. Hence, we're wearing shorts. Right. Anyway, we shall move along here. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, hope you're well. Sunjammer's here. This evening, the news will be done by Clunk from Stop the Pigeon. Bing bong. Brr. He was brilliant, wasn't he? Right. Now, countdown to retirement. 17 working days, Bald Eagle. You're going to absolutely love it. You'll get up in the morning, scratch your head, and do other things. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Malky, a very good evening to you. Hope you're well. 98 Vulcan is here. Once more into the Valley of Murph. Brilliant. Hope you're well, buddy. Spitfire RAF 100. Happy Wednesday to you. And hope you're well, lads. Assidious is here. Good evening. Viper Strike, welcome aboard. They're Soaring AJ. Creo, a very good evening to all in County Mayo, where it's raining sideways. Willow, how much is here? Heisenberg, good evening. APU Inspector with 240 streams in a row. Thank you very, very much indeed. Insane discipline But well done. Blinky, thank you very much for 25 in a row. Hope you're well, buddy. Dougal McTavish, the chairman. Happy Wednesday, Dougal. Brilliant. Hope you're well, buddy. Belbro is in the house. Welcome aboard. Strap21, hola. Who else come in the door here now? Sim Guy, good to see you. Buttons. Things. The Dameranian, a very good evening. Mrs. TPHI, also known as Mrs. Inappropriate. Upside down, has rambled in. Good evening, Mrs. Hope you're well. Chalks is here, good evening. Sunjammer, reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. He watched 10 streams in a row, look. Do you feel yourself more intelligent now, Or, better morale, perhaps? I reckon so, Sunjammer, 11 streams ago, you were positively just not at the races at all. Right, but now, you're firing on all cylinders. Yes. Right, now, Ryan is here, good evening. Who else come in the door? Crazy Fruits. Hi, Mum. I'm on the telly. Brilliant. Right. Stu Snape, a very good evening to you, Stu. Hope you're well. Stick Figures here for 45 months. Seems like only 9 or 10 long years ago. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Stick Figure, 45 months, buddy. Next week's news is next Tuesday. Yes, it's going to be next Tuesday. And then it will be 30 plus tabs after Expo. You can be sure of it. Absolutely sure of it. Light Bison, hope you're well, buddy. TG Sims is in the house. Welcome in. Nutty Taff is here. Welcome in. Crazy Fruits, thank you very much indeed for your Prime subscription. What a legend. In the door, first thing, subscribe to Prime. That man's a legend. He's going places, I tell you. Crazy Fruits. Cornwolf, good evening. My dude, hope you're well. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. You're looking well. Mugan is here. I'm Pierce, good evening. Martel, good to see you, buddy. Jamaumu's in the house. Jesus, the band is back together. This is great. Welcome in so many people this evening. Great to see us, lads. Gave him a fierce stomach upset, I heard. Marrigan gave him a fierce upset. Yeah. Who? Uniform Goose. Good day, Goose. Hope you're well. Wait, where's this now? Buttons. Commander 4-1. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. One Foxy Bingo Gav is here. Carefree Gary. Welcome in, Gary. Buttons. Olsen is here. Now, where's this now? I would never punch Murph. Ara, come on. You will at Expo. Jesus. You will at... no, there's Buttons. Jesus! A double whammy. There was a double whammy, look. I can't even keep up the thing. Hype train. Margin with 20 gifted tier 1 subs because he's mad. Then Black Sheep Jean in with a super chat. Oh, for God's sake. I refuse to spend money. Oh, wait. Crap. Margin, thank you very much indeed for 20 gifted tier 1 subs. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub with thanks to Margin, do be sure to say thank you. And the top lad, and then Black Sheep Jean, thank you very much indeed for the super chat donation. The man is extremely kind and generous. See, I wouldn't punch Murph. What was that? Nothing. Murphy just fell out of his bed again. Not feeling well today, but good day all from Arizona, says Proby Pete. Thinking of you, dude. Feel better. Hope you feel better than you currently are. Imagine someone was called Better. I name thee Better. Probably Pete will be straight over to you now in a second. Right, Jesus. Feel better soon, buddy. Now, Tarnish Mossman, good evening. Hope you're well. Then Vasco in with 10 gifted tier 1 subs because he's mad. Dazza T. Arab came in. What's all this then? Good evening, Dazza. Hope you're well. Commander 4-1 is in... check in from Poland, Indiana. There's a Poland in Indiana. Really? Interesting. Old veteran 965, he goes, OMG, look at the folks here. Scott, broken arrow. Right, 'tis all gone, that word, but it's mad. Right, now, are we catching up here? Slowly. I'm catching up. I'm not catching up. Fibrola is there again. John C., good evening. Lenny Brooks is here. SK Sun, welcome in. I see something pinky somewhere. Wait, what? Who? What? North Coast Mike is checking in as well. Flying tonight. Good to see you, buddy. Just Roy is here. A very good evening, Murph and chat. I hope everyone's doing well. Questions for the SayIntentions team. Again, something went wrong with the payment of the sub. Please, lads from SayIntentions, would you be so kind as to add a payment option which works without the use of a credit card? They do PayPal, Just Roy, I think. I'm almost certain I saw PayPal. I think it's for a 6 months thing, I think. Right, we'll try and find... Jesus, we'll try and find out though. We'll try and find out. Nutty Slack, hello. Nick is in the house. Thank you very much indeed for 12 months. Cheers, buddy. And then buttons from Proby Pete in with 5 gifted tier 1 subs going out to the community on Twitch. Proby Pete, thank you very much indeed. And lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, with thanks to Proby Pete in Arizona, do be sure to say thank you. And then Sim Guy in with the super chat. Thank you very much indeed. What's going on today? What's going on today? Yous are all feisty and, you know, giving it socks. TG Sims in with 5 gifted tier 1 subs. The man is an absolute legend. He was sitting there quietly drinking his soup and then he jumped out. TG Sims, thank you very much indeed, buddy. And lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to TG Sims 188, do be sure to say thank you. What an absolute legend. John C., thank you very much indeed for 20 months. It's all kicking off now, lads. I don't know what's going on. Right, we're nearly there now, sort of. Paparazzi's in the house, received my first social security check this month, and now I can spend it on the sim. Ooh, brilliant. Yes, that's the intention. But yes, Nick as well, thank you for 12 months, buddy. Now, Energizer, whose great idea was it to give us rain and thunder all week? Sure, listen, it's a great combination, I find. We do get this all the time in Ireland, you know. He is, right, he's talking about the Aer Lingus A321. Yeah, you jumped straight off that. Marriage, and think of the fun we could have had on that flight. You know, 5 minutes into it, is your arse numb as well? Oh, it is, yeah. Right? Well, it could have been brilliant. Could have written songs. But yes, right, how's me knocking today? Do you know I still have a bump on me head? That such was the velocity of the iPad coming off the bed onto my head. And it landed this way, look. Right down in the corner. There's buttons at an alarming rate. I bashed me head yesterday, something fierce. But yes, all a little bit better today, but there's a lump there somewhere. Toto is in the house. A very good evening to Toto 2495 and to Mrs. Toto, who I'm sure is watching or is perhaps conspiring some sort of a plan for garden work or perhaps shopping. You're very welcome in. Or maybe she's flying. Now, Murph, even Aer Lingus crew don't deserve dealing with the both of us at the same time. Sure, listen. They'll put you back in your spot fairly quick. Do you know what I mean? Sim Guy, thank you very much indeed for 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Sim Guy, do be sure to say thank you. The man is a legend. And Rob MCR in with 64 months of a resub. Lads, that's a level 8 hype train on a Wednesday. What are you doing? What do you like? How dare you? Rise. Brilliant. Thank you very, very much indeed. He's a very kind. 98 Vulcan, truer words never spoken, Murph. You are good for morale, more than you know. Yes, yes. Brilliant. Right? Devil Fly is here, good to see you. Then Marriage did all the madness. We're catching up now at a rate of knots. Jesus is right. Where's this? Strike Eagle, good to see you. Martel is in the house. Martel, thank you for 57 months. The man is a legend. Photos by Kev is here. Good evening, one and all. Are we there yet? You're almost getting there now. Right. Or feel someone better. Wait, what? No, Jesus. Scott, you immediately diverted the train and it went to that place where Mrs. TPHI is waiting. Now, Free Jack. Good to see you, Free Jack. Now, let me see. Devil Fly, yes, you're most welcome. Proby Pete, welcome in and thank you very much indeed. You're all very funny. Wait, you're all very welcome, he says. Remember, this is definitely not bribes prior to any Murph smackage. Yeah. Huge news. Marriagin, Dex Murphy in the nose. And then Marriagin was like, but lads, it's grand. And because he's been so nice, we were like, yeah, we like Marriagin. Yeah, shut up, Murph. You know, do it again. Right. Yeah, I can see it all now. Have you taken inventory of what you have? The only way to get ready for Expo so that you can order things that you might be missing. I'm bringing a ton of Flight Sim tees, t-shirts, tons of them, that I will wear. I'm bringing shorts, jocks and socks, and I'm bringing merchandise. Yes. So you need to find me at Expo. I'm hard to miss. And you'll get some merchandise. Limited edition. Beautifully crafted. In savage demand. Two-tone Murphy lanyards. Now, I'm telling you, lads, these things, they're like hotcakes, right? And will instantly transform your life. It sounded convincing, at least, didn't it? Right, now, we'll jump on here now, because it's very busy, look. Andy64 is here, good to see you. Elric is here, welcome aboard. My government pension is sent directly to Volvo. Uh-oh. Right. Volvo. We can see the lump. It's wearing glasses. Wait, what? Who? What's that? I heard my name. It's okay, Mrs. TPHI. We were just talking about trains. If you take a small child with you, he'll find you he'll find you and kick the kid. That was an accident, and then Gibbo and his genius, give him a lanyard. Well, you don't need to look for Murph. Just listen for the rattle. You're accurate. Kelly Price is here. Good evening. What he meant is, he sidles up to people and says, "Go on." I can't read it now. The moment is lost. Jesus, there's buttons. Photos by Kev. You're after rolling over your wallet again. Be Jesus. What was I reading? Oh yeah. Go on. Will you not wear a lanyard? Go on, go on, go on. No, I don't, Marigin. That's all fake news. People do be having fights and, riots to get up close to me and say, "Please, Murph, can I have a lanyard? You're so famous." And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just throw a whole load of lanyards and watch them, Jesus, could you imagine? Kev, you absolute mad person, as Culkin and Piku jumped in. Kev, thank you very, very much indeed for 10 gifted tier 1 subs. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, with thanks to Photos by Kev, do be sure to say thank you. Vasco, we're going to be late. Gutters are full. Trains leaving the station. Kids with leashes. What's next in the moment gets bigger as we go. You do well at a Mardi Gras. Wait, for the lanyard, Scott. Nothing else, I hope. Right. We're nearly there now, lads. It's all coming together. Black Sheep Gene, you're very welcome aboard. I keep hearing noises. Upon investigation, I found to be my wallet screaming, "Enough! There's no money left. Tell Murph to shag off." And then 6 minutes later... That's fantastic. Black Sheep Gene, good to see you, buddy. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome back, Dave. Kieran Nile is here. Leonardo da Vinci, a very good day to you. Jack is in the house. Welcome aboard. Steve Stavros is here. Hard Rock, hope all is well. Now, let me see. Stephen Bastian, good to see you, buddy. Dan is in the house. Cato is here. Who else? Dubs and Dials, good evening. Northland Air. Happy Wednesday to you, my dude. Flyboy Dyer's in the house. I refuse to spend money, says Gene. Oh, wait. Crap. Thank you very much indeed, Gene and Sim Guy. Newfoundland. Got to go back to airplane hangar construction, but just popped in to say hello. And you'll miss us terribly, says Newfoundland. Airplane hangar construction. Jesus. Enjoy. Now, let me see. Post-traumatic growth. The Embraer is spot on in the trailer. Which is the aircraft dev? I'm not sure. Wait, what? Dazza, thanks, Dazza. Yeah, you can't get too shagging far from Dazza before he says something like, "How are you, Fabio? The wife is away. I'm on my own all night." Oh, right. Nice. Now, you do well. Right. Time to get the t-shirt. Cannon, Murph. Oh, do you remember China used to use that in wrestling? I thought it was very offensive, but they used to fire out a t-shirt, didn't it? But anyway, right. I'd love to invite you into my mind and just go, hands in your pockets, but just go for a walk around and see all the things that goes on. Brilliant. Right? Also terribly scary. Right, come on over here, look. So, here we are, friends, in the beloved Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Malk is like, I rather wouldn't. What are you talking about? Right, what we have here, lads, is a Tecnam, which are becoming extremely popular for flight training and general kind of flying around the place, bit of general aviation, right? And they primarily use a Rotax engine, which makes them a little bit... economical and modern, to say the least. And speaking about modern, well, they usually come with modern avionics. Usually a Garmin G1000 or even a G3, which is ridiculous, but I've seen them. But anyway, we're going to be checking out this aircraft. It was released by Aerosachs directly into the marketplace. So I said, do you know what? I'm going to grab it and show it off. Jersey Devil, good evening. Also, I'm talking about our check-in. So this is everything here at the moment. So far, we have 38 pilots who are checked in from 38 cities across 10 countries. The command you need to use is !check-in space and then... Well, the instructions are on the website here. This is a live website. It's over on our Two-Tone Murphy website. If you'd like to check it out, right, you can go over and have a look. And I made a couple of changes last night. You can now click on where the pilot list is to disappear them. I can't click on airplanes, right? However, if you click on a pilot's name, it should load you into where they are. You know, if the map doesn't break. The map broke. But you get the idea, right? So that was the bit of messing I did yesterday. Right? I don't know why it's not loading in the map. That's most concerning. I must have broke something in all me thinking, right? It does work, but it kind of doesn't. But you get the idea, right? Do you like it now? And they're very fancy. So if you click on a button and then you just click it again. But I don't know why it's turning off the map. It could be just the website acting the devil, right? Because I had a zoomed out look. No, it's doing it across the way. Very strange. But anyway, so you can check in and it just shows us all around the world where you guys are tuning in and watching us from. And if you look very closely, there's a pink airplane with a pink Mr. TPHI look. It did the thing. But that's all now up and running. So, yeah, have fun with it, lads. Have fun with it, right? Because it's cool to see, well, where everyone is. Isn't it? Yes, Murphy, you're a genius. In fact, how do you even manage to do anything? You're so intelligent. My thoughts, right? My thoughts, exactly. So have fun with that, lads. Anyway, moving on. We're going to get into this aircraft and a few other bits and pieces in a little while. But first, we're going to start off with this week's Flight Sim News. And we have a bit of news here. Our news, of course, comes from MSFSaddons.com. Massive shout out to Vasco. And, of course, he's going to be joining us here for a chat in a while. And a shout out as well to Callum and the lads over at FS Elite. So we're going to start off with not too many tabs on a screen, Batman. Aerosachs have released their Tecnam P-Mentor on the marketplace. Its most systems-heavy trainer yet. They brought out the P-92 amongst other aircraft, so it's good to see the Mentor in there. They spent the last couple of years building up the most complete Tecnam fleet in Microsoft Flight Sim, and this one now bringing out the Mentor. It went live on the marketplace the other day, and everything the developer has released so far, this seems to be one that asks the most from both the Sim and the Simmer. Right. It's more than another light bug smasher. It's a modern IF4 capable trainer, and Aerosachs has talked about a clear step up in systems depth from the rest of the catalogue. When it was covered with the P-Mentor beta back in February, developer Aerosachs pointed out that, pointed to the Rotax 912IS engine logic as the tricky part. In particular, lane A and lane B engine management switches and the fuel pump behaviour that set this power plant apart from the magneto-driven engines in most GA add-ons. Right? A few months on, that work has reached release. The Real Machine helps explain why the project deserves your attention. You see, the P-Mentor is a two-seat single-engine Tecnam certified by the European Aeronautic something or other, ESA, under CS23, and also by the FAA. It runs a 100 horsepower Rotax 912IS, carrying a Garmin G3 touch-glass cockpit, and is rated for day and nighttime IF4 flight. It puts it among the few two-seaters cleared for full instrument training rather than just for VFR circuits. The Portuguese Air Force have selected this type as its new elementary trainer, so the aircraft has real momentum behind it, right? And it's also very pretty. For the simulation side, Aerosachs say the Mentor carries the avionics fit you would expect from the real-world trainer, the G3X Touch, a GTN 650, and a G5 with a navigator swappable for the PMS-50 or TDS units. The developer describes a fully interactive cockpit modelled on the real layout, a flight model validated against the actual aircraft's handling, and an interactive checklist drawn from the official pilot operating handbook. It's available for just over €20, $22.19 is what I paid for it in the InSim marketplace. It runs both on 2020 and 24, and it has the same dual SIM strategy that Aerosachs took with the P2002 Sierra. Right, so we're going to have a look at this machine tonight because when I saw it, it looked very, very good. So I was like, ooh, I better jump on this. So we're going to have a look at that aircraft in a little while. Now, there's a new bizjet in town. The Sovereign has finally released, the Sovereign Plus, and I haven't had time to get myself used to it yet, but soon I need to check it out. After roughly 2 years of development, after a long, quiet stretch, and an April listing that briefly appeared on Orbex before it was pulled, Skyward Simulations Cessna Citation C680 Sovereign Plus has released. The product is live on the Orbex Direct with a working buy button this time. And when first announced back in June 2024, it was the studio's second project after the Diamond DA50, which is a beautiful little plane, and the feature list was mostly a statement of intent. The picture filled in over time, a detailed systems breakdown last December, then a first trailer, electrical system reveal in February, and then of course now the machine is out. The G5000 avionics suite, fully customized, Skyward built the PFD, MFD and GTC buttons from scratch with integrated system synoptics rather than reusing the stock G5 that ships with the default longitude. The studio say almost every control in the cockpit is functional and tied to the underlying systems, and that the crew alert system reads from a real-time data bus and the aircraft's electrical state. So your CAS messages are meant to reflect what is actually happening rather than just reading from a bit of an owl script. Very interesting. Now, the electrical architecture is where Skyward has put most of its public emphasis. The studio describes nearly 60 buses, some 600 circuits, and a logic model down to the printed circuit board level from real board documentation. The most detailed version of this is exclusive to 2024, which Skyward attributes to platform capabilities versus 2020, which it just doesn't have, right? The team previously said it was behind the electrical system rework that turned up in Sim Update 5 beta. So they keep kind of adding to it. That depth carries into the rest of the systems. The Sovereign Plus uses a dual channel FADEC that Skyward say commands the full range of thrust modes with modeled relationship between N1 and N2 and the ITT. Hydraulic fuel and bleed air systems are also built to what the studio describes as OEM specifications, including crossfeed and boost pump behavior on the fuel side. The landing gear even gets its own treatment with hydraulic extension, gravity-assisted deployment, and a pneumatic blowdown system for emergencies. Connectivity side, it includes CPDLC and ACARS, D-ATIS and Texnodums. The AFB handles SimBrief and Navigraph integration, weight and balance, and what the studio lists more than 300 real-world checklists. Audio is from Boris Audio Works, recorded from the actual aircraft, with custom Foley for switches, knobs, and the rest of the interactive elements. The Sovereign is priced at $29.99 on Orbex Direct. So roughly with taxes, it's about 26 or 27 euro. This is very aggressive pricing. Now we need to press a button because I can't play that because it'll give out to me because there's music and Jesus, it's happening everywhere. Pitched! Right, we'll play this again, but this time I won't play the music. It's probably too late now, right? Get up there now and we'll fire this and have an old gawk, lads, right? I'll play me own, ooh, and you know. Well, probably not that. There, we play that. A quick look at the machine. MacVision says 3165 there. Okay. Now, without question, it's a very pretty looking aircraft, right? I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. And from that pricing point, very good indeed. Now, question there that came in from Dougal, which is a great question. Murph, if you only had one business aircraft to choose, what would you go with? So, we're at the stage where I think outside of the FS Reborn 300E, because it's very hard now to compare the Phenom to other business jets. And the reason why I'm saying that is, okay, yes, the jet is the jet, right? You know, where the Sovereign looks to be beautifully coded, the Phenom definitely is beautifully coded, but it's all the extras you get with Phenom. You're getting the full BizJet pilot experience. Anything from your FBO all the way down to your, your cabin, all of that's going on there. I mean, there's features with the Sovereign that you can get in and open up compartments and, you know, call for the fuel truck and all this. It's great to see that. But I don't know, like, for me, I think, you know, the Phenom just rounds off completely the full experience. The Citation X from Flight FX is very, very good. I think the Sovereign, this has the edge on the realism and the depth of the systems, right? By a bit, only because there's so much going on there, right? But I think what FS Reborn have done, they've gone beyond what we're expecting. Do you know what I mean? Put it this way, if the Phenom didn't release when it did, this would be undoubtedly the best business jet in the sim. Straight up. Until FS Reborn released theirs. Do you know what I mean? So it's because we can see now what's possible and how it all works together. I think the Sovereign is definitely worthy of anyone's virtual hangar. Based on what I've read up on it and my limited testing with it, it's a superb aircraft. But, you know, if the question was going to be, you know, if I could only have one, it would be the Phenom, but without question. Nothing comes close to the Phenom. Like anyone from X-Plane will tell you, the Phenom is, you know, the Microsoft Flight Sim version of the Challenger, the Hot Start. That is the level of closeness we're getting here between, you know, all the systems, the logic behind it, the sheer amount of code, the interaction. Then you have this cabin crew simulation, keeping passengers happy, they react to temperature, how you handle the aircraft. There's failures in there as well. This has failures, but like there's just way more going on. Plus, you can build your own FBO, which is a game changer because default stock scenery is no longer the anymore, especially if you're flying the Phenom, because any airport can now be upgraded immensely with your own personal touch. I mean, you know, that in a product of its own is a worthy add-on, right? I'd buy that add-on alone. But you couple that with probably the best business jet we've ever seen in Microsoft Flight Sim. I dare say in any sim, it's got to be the Phenom. I love the Phenom. And it's only going to get better. That's the shocking thing, right? Since release, it's had 8 patches. I think 4 of them were public. Or he released 4, but it's on version 8. It's unbelievable. You know what I mean? But anyway, the Sovereign does look very, very nice indeed. And as I say, between the Citation X, which is a beautiful jet, the Phenom, the Sovereign, and at some stage, possibly next year now, unless I'm wrong, you're going to have a Learjet 45 from Just Flight. So we have a lot of options now, and it's great to see because business jets are... Oh, the Falcon as well, sure. The Falcon is going to be out before we know it. That's going to be something interesting as well, the Falcon 50, right? So there's a lot of cool stuff going out there. But anyway, we'll be checking this one out. If I get a chance next week, I will. More than likely, we'll be flying this after Expo, just to give it an L blast. But it's very pretty. It is. It's a very pretty aircraft, and from the developer, I mean, I flew the DA50. I have it. It kind of works in Flight Sim 24. They do great work, and this is a massive step up. You know, so great to see. Now, iniBuilds teasing an Airbus A380 for 2024 and promises full reveal later this month. Now, to have an Airbus A380 in the sim, which we kind of have with the fly-by-wire, which, considering it's a freeware A380, it's staggering how good that is. However, iniBuilds bring their own level of expertise and just sheer, that's a word, right? When it comes into their own aircraft. We've seen it with the A350, the A340, we've seen it with the TriStar. Very capable in the latest releases of aircraft, not to mention they're still looking back at their older fleet, namely the A300. To see an A380 now in development, which is not brand new. I mean, iniBuilds did kind of tell us years ago, yeah, we want to make one of those, right? So, but they've now officially said, yeah, we're making the thing, and we're going to have more news about it this month. So, iniBuilds dropped a short but pointed message on Discord. In 2019, we announced our first, most ambitious project. This month, we finally pulled back the curtains. 4 engines, 2 decks, a global icon. And we can see a couple of pictures here. I mean, this is going to be nuts. This is, you just know it's going to be good, right? You just know it's going to be good. Another picture captures the exterior fuselage, which is there, and we can see down by the landing gear. There's going to be details all over this. And it has to be said as well, right? I mean, anyone now who's flying, be it the A340 or the A350, and this is the important thing, lads. Look at the roadmap and the version numbers that we're at with these aircraft. Like, that's one thing that iniBuilds are doing. They're constantly tweaking the aircraft. Most recently, all the work went into WASM fixes. You know what I mean? So that's important as well, where you're seeing just the sheer amount of, fixes and features and all this kind of stuff. But I'm very excited to see this one. The fly-by-wire freeware, that was one of those kind of it set a standard of what was possible, as a community project, and it's for free, right? But I think, what iniBuilds are doing here when it comes to their aircraft, I'm very excited to see this. Very, very excited to see this. So I've no other news for you other than they are going to give us more news this month, right? So who's excited for this? That'd be the question. Who's excited to see an A380 from iniBuilds, or is it a case of, not my cup of tea? Sprockets is here. Good to see you. A DO328. Ooh. Do you remember the DO? Was it the 228 or the 224? Oh. Take my money now, etc. Man Muse, let's see how it compares. Take my know me now, you big Egypt. Muse fan, typical. Are you sure you're not from Cavan? You don't have money, you've know me. 380, not really your thing, but you might try it. Yeah. You'd like to explore it. 747 is your jumbo of choice, still partial to a 380. Look at this mad joke. Did I miss much? Mr. Dan is here. Good to see you. Twice. Yeah, Muse, you had a double typo. I hate to see it. But great news from iniBuilds. Now, CSS, their 737-3 and 4 are almost here. The 737 Classic community has been sitting on a coming soon for the 300 and 400 series, but the wait is apparently ending this week. They confirmed that both variants are releasing within the next few days, and packed the news with a handful of other announcements, such as the company confirmed that Immersive Audio, who also worked on the overhaul, Mad Dog X, is working on the projects. The new sound pack currently in testing with an expected release date within the next month. All existing CSS 737 users will get it as a free update. Ooh. The $45 per variant standalone pricing introduced back in November isn't changing, but the product is now coming to more stores. In addition, the new CSS launcher and sim market, the 737 Classic, will be available through Aerosachs, Contrail and Orbex. They note that prices may be slightly higher in partner stores. The temporary license option remains exclusive to the CSS launcher. Owners of the $120 permanent license, well, you don't need to do anything. The 3 and 400 will be available to you at no additional cost. It's when these guys released this pricing, I was kind of wary of them because I said, listen, it sounds like it's going to be great value because you're going to give us, 6 or 7 different variants of the one aircraft, right? A -2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, right? And I think there was others included. But the problem was they only released one variant and they were charging top dollar. That should have been perhaps put to, well, maybe it shouldn't have been put to, but I don't know. But anyway, certainly over the next 2 or 3 weeks, your $120 one-off price is now going to land you 3 different 737 variants. If we were to use that sort of pricing and logic when it comes to PMDG, for instance, you'd still be faring out cheaper with $120. No 200 or 6. Only the 3, 4, and 5 are classics. Right. Well, isn't it they're doing freighter variants or something for them as well? I think that's what it was. But anyway, look, interesting pricing, and it's good to see them roll out more and more updates. The reality is this, lads. I mean, you have a developer who is working on a Boeing 737. We need this competition badly in the sim. Badly. You can't just have a one-horse kind of pony. You know what I mean? But anyway, great news from CSS. So we'll see where it goes. Once they're released, I'll check them out again. I haven't flown them in quite some time, but look, looking forward to it. Vector's 787 Spotlight reveals a flight deck where every system is already working. We're going to be looking forward to hearing more from Vector at Flight Sim Expo. They're going to be giving us a fair bit of spotlight on this. And the central idea running through the spotlight, the 787 from the schematic up rather than simulating results. The team describes thousands of monitored parameters and sensor-driven data points feeding continuously across all the flight controls: the engines, hydraulics, electrical fuel, pressurization, navigation, avionics, cabin systems, and aircraft health monitoring. They seem to be pouring their life and soul into this 787. The system, or the fuel system example they give us is illustrative. Fuel physically flows through pipes, valves, and pumps in the simulation. Close a valve or shut down an engine, the fuel stops moving, but remains in the system, with downstream effects on aircraft logic and behavior. The same approach, Vector say, applies to the hydraulics, the electrical systems, pressure, temperature sensors, and automation. All of it feeds the synoptic and maintenance displays in real time. They've also gone ahead with one detail, the team saying that pressing the cockpit oxygen mask test button actually draws down oxygen quantity in the aircraft tanks. Keep doing it long enough and the system becomes unavailable later in the flight. The FMC, entirely built from the ground up, with a full range of pages and functions expected from a real 787, including operational constraints, and Vector specifically noted real-world limit of 149 waypoints per route. And then we got a couple of pictures. I don't know if you guys have seen these, but the modelling in this thing looks absolutely gorgeous. Carefree Garrett, yeah, Vector, I'm almost certain to have a booth, but 100% they're going to be at Expo, right? I gotta say, I'm intrigued by this, lads. Looking at the pictures, I mean, this thing is coming together really, really well. I am now kind of jumping on the old hype train to say, yes, this is looking very impressive. I mean, I've flown on a 787. They're one of my favorite airplanes to fly on as a passenger. They're just comfortable. But I never really kind of got to terms with the 787s that we had in the sim. They were always, I don't know, they just weren't they didn't do it for me, you know? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this all shapes out. Spotlight, of course, are going to be watching this at FS Expo, so any news or announcements will definitely be jumping out. You know what I mean? 320 Sim Pilot will come into his own testing this one out. Yeah, that's what he currently flies. And I think Emmanuel used to fly them as well. I think. I could be very wrong. Or maybe he's flown it once or twice. A330 driver. I think. I could be wrong. But I think. Yeah, look, but wait and see. It looks very impressive, though. You know, Stu Snape, been looking for a standalone one for years. Yeah, looking forward to this. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm with you, man. I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, we're hoping it's good. It looks great. That's the thing. It already looks great. Now, Red Wing's Super Constellation has finally released. We got a quick snippet of this last week. So the Connie is now out for 2024 and a fully reworked native version. And by the look of it, it appears to be a major step up from the 2020 version that released back in 2021. The main selling point, I think, so far, Red Wing have also made use of the marketplace's free one-day trial, which I thought was genius, because this was always an aircraft that was overshadowed, of course, by the DC-6. And, you know, the older variant of the plane, whilst it did have some nice quirks about it, it was rough. The 3D modelling was not bang on. The sounds were a little bit weird. Textures weren't great. And just the overall flows, it just didn't flow right. Even though it followed real-world procedure, it didn't flow correctly. There was always like, oh, I have to stop what I'm doing to do this, and you know what I mean? But anyway, I haven't checked it out yet, and I do like Red Wing. I was chatting to them, like, Murph, do you want to check it out? I said, I'd love to check it out. I haven't had time to check it out yet. But I will say, from what I'm reading on this so far, it's looking a lot better than what we previously had. And the fact that we have a one-day trial is very, very welcoming indeed. Now, if you haven't flown the Connie before, it's a 4-engine radial-powered airliner from Lockheed, first flown in 1951. The version covers the L1049 Golf variant with several others, including a military warning star and also MATS. Now, MATS, my understanding was Ministerial Air Transport Services. I could be wrong. AI-based or AI-assisted pilot, co-pilot and flight engineer systems. And myself and Two Cats did voiceover work for this many years ago. I'm not sure they're still in it. The feature list is notably deep beyond the fully functional 3D cockpit covering electric, hydraulic, de-icing systems. The developer says that the aircraft includes a fogging and window mist system, hot and cold sensation mechanic, and an oxygen management system complete with hypoxia modeling. Ooh. AI crew handles auto takeoff and landing, fuel management, and failure responses. Now, there's a couple of pictures in this, or a couple of snippets. Pictures never really do add-ons justice. Looking at it here, it's not too bad, but you're looking at it going, well, it's a bit FSX kinda, right? Now maybe it's not. Can we go back? We can. The character modeling it's weird, isn't it? I mean, it's weird, right? It is what it is, but it's weird. And then the various stations and textures and where you see things and stuff. However, you don't mind flying something.
Jesus.
You don't mind flying something that isn't at the absolute, bleeding edge of visuals, provided it works well. And as I said, the older variant or version of the Connie, a lot of elements worked very well, but some of them didn't. So I need to check this one out. Great to hear though that it's after getting an upgrade. And there are it's a lot of features to it. The aircraft is available priced in around $40, which isn't bad either. So yeah, this is definitely one on my list that I need to fly very soon. In fact, I need to start putting reminders in because I'm going to be busy. So that's the Connie as well. I just need to type that stuff in, otherwise I forget. Now, speaking of this kind of era of beautiful aircraft, the DC-6 has finally been released. We flew this on Sunday. For anyone who's interested, to my knowledge, there still hasn't been an update from PMDG. The problem with the aircraft is it's riddled with WASM crashes. Riddled. Every time you start a flight, yeah, there's no update. Every time you start a flight, you're going to get a WASM crash. The solution, go back out to the main menu, then go into your WASM folder, delete the DC-6 WASM folder, or in particular, one specific file. It's a DL, or what's we call it? Where is it now? PMDG DC-6. Where are you? Or maybe I deleted it already. I probably deleted it already. There's one particular file in there you need to delete. Then you just load back in the aircraft and you're good for that entire flight. We flew it on Sunday, and it's just a beautifully rendered machine. I love the DC-6. It's absolutely a cracker of an airplane. We just need PMDG to give it a quick update to fix those WASM crashes. All right. I've yet to have a WASM crash flying in it. Do you know, it only happens when you load in. It works every time. It only happens when you load it in. So I imagine the fix is just on some initial load. Right. But it's a beautiful aircraft. Previous owners of the DC-6, you get this for free. If you've never flown the DC-6, it's going to be released on the Microsoft Flight Sim Marketplace soon, or you can pick it up directly from PMDG's website. If you don't have the DC-6, you need to have serious questions about your life's choices. This is a remarkable aircraft. It is one of the finest friggin' aircraft in all of flight simulation, period. That's how good this thing is. It is excellent. WASM crashes and all. How much is that? I think it's about 60 quid. I could be wrong. Have a quick check over on their website. But if you don't already own this aircraft, this is it's a very capable aircraft. It'll, they threw in a GPS there if you wanted, so you can do kind of, SIDS and stars and more accurate navigation stuff. But VOR to VOR, NDB, all that jazz is in there using the ADF. This is a remarkable aircraft. Engine management alone is enough to keep you going. So it's beautiful. It is just one of the finest aircraft, I think, in the sim, So yes, that's now available. Blue Sky Hangar. Well, they're bringing the full Grumman AA5 family to Microsoft Flight Simulator. All 3 variants. Sometimes you stumble across something before the developer has had a chance to announce it properly, and that is the case with Blue Sky's Hangar. The Grumman AA5 package, which quietly appeared over on the Just Flight website without any accompanying announcement. There's another aircraft I need to check out, but it does look very, very nice. The AA5, one of those aircraft that has a genuine sentimental value for a lot of pilots. Grumman produced the family between 1971 and 1979, and the three main variants, the Traveller, the Cheetah, and the Tiger, built following for being light, sporty, and quicker than what you'd expect from a fixed gear, fixed pitch setup. More than 3,000 of these aircraft were built, and plenty still fly today. Now, it's not the first time the type has made it. We've seen this before from BR Sim Designs, which focused on just the Tiger variant. And what Blue Sky Hangar are working on goes, well, a lot different because it's treating this as a complete package. All three variants together with separate accurate flight dynamics for each one. And I gotta say, these look very, very pretty indeed. Grumman General Aviation Aircraft. Grumman are the same company now who built the Lunar Landing Module, and they also built the F-14, right? But you can see there's a lot of interesting stuff here in terms of features, which are pre-flight notes that you have. It's chocks, engine covers, Peter tube cover. You can change the interior panels from VF4 to IF4. You can horse in a GNS or even a G1000. Interchangeable avionics directly into the aircraft in real time. How freaking cool is that? And they do look very nice. So looking forward to checking these out. It also makes it stands out 4 distinct panel configurations, all switchable on the fly. And I think that's brilliant. You can go for the 1970s vibe, then up through the Collins radios, 1980s IF4 setup, early 2000s with a GNS 430, straight up to the modern day with a G1000. On the 2024 side, the listing confirms support for walk-around inspections, passenger and cargo loading visuals, and also the Microsoft Flight Sim ground services. 15 real-world liveries are included, covering aircraft registered in the UK, USA, Germany, and Canada. No pricing or release date has been announced, but we'll be keeping a close eye on this. This is something I want to showcase very, very soon, because, well, it's general aviation. We love general aviation, and here is a developer who's doing something pretty cool. We can interchange. It's not the first time we've seen it, but, you know, iniBuilds did this with the T-33. But for a general aviation aircraft, I think this is fantastic news. You know what I mean? So, yeah, BR Sim Designs made one. Wasn't bad. They updated it to 2024, which didn't really update it. Do you know what I mean? But great to see. Now, a quick jump, hop, skip and a jump over to flightsimtees.com, because I was perusing the website earlier on from Gibbo, and I don't know if this kind of escaped me radar, or I don't know, or I'm just going back to it because I kind of like rotary wing machines, and by that I mean helicopters. So we're over here on flightsimtees.com. And this website, this is Gibbo's website, and he produces t-shirts, hoodies, zuddies, and baseball caps. And, well, I never really had a proper look. I can't, and if I did, I forgot, of the helicopter t-shirts, because he actually has a nice lineup of them. And I was looking at this earlier on. I thought I could name all of them. So the bottom left, I want to say it's a Chinook, but it's not a Chinook. Isn't it like that CH-53 gadget? This fella right here. And then we kind of move across. Sea King, that looks to be, a Puma. That's a H500. That's a Gazelle. That's a Squirrel. An Apache. That's a H300. Some sort of a 207. This guy here, it looks like a Hind. I think it's a Hind. This fella in the middle, haven't a clue. Haven't a bull's notion what that is. I thought it was a Cobra, but the Cobra has skis, you know. So I don't actually know. Then we have a Gazelle that isn't actually a Gazelle, but is very similar to a Gazelle. Comanche. Oh, it is the Comanche. Bacelli, very good. Comanche, yes. There's the Tiger. Do you remember the Tiger helicopter was in James Bond? Right? There's a Lynx in there as well. And what looks to be an S92? Pretty cool, isn't it? That's the next thing he'll do, yeah. You know, the scratch smells. We'll have to get Gibbo, like, various different, like, aviation fuels, dye it into the colour, so when you right. Health warnings, of course. Beautiful t-shirt, though, isn't it? It's a cracker. And then there's others in the category of helicopters because, well, he's a good few. So we have this one here of the heli silhouette worn by Janice, right? I could tell you, but where's the fun in that? There's Janice modelling the helicopter now, and Bruce. He's like Batman because, you know, or Superman. He's in a hangar with a fixed wing, but his heart wants rotary. Brilliant, right? But there's more, look. I like this one, the Huey. I thought this was badass. What do you think of this one? Very fancy. Great designs. And of course, you know, with the 4th of July coming up, I mean, you know what I mean? And then this one I really like. It's a H145. These are used all around the world, including the Irish Air Corps. You know, they're getting a heap of these. So if you're in Ireland, you need to get these and start wearing them and start visiting Baldonnel. They'll think you work for Airbus. Aren't they class? That's on the back of them, look. So rotary pilots are a different breed of pilots. You're just a different breed of pilot. So there's the H145. And then we have what looks to be, I don't know what that is. But what's that? It's something else. But you get the idea. The H145 in winch mode too, look. Very fancy. So if anything here kind of picks your interest, they also come in white. Ooh. Right? Anything here picks your interest, do be sure to check them out. If you'd like to save some money for buying things, use that discount code up the top of your screen at checkout, TTM. It'll save you 10%. And, well, sure, listen, 10% is 10%. So, amazing designs here. And I give us funny, but like, no, Murph, I've nothing to the amount of stuff he has, right? Real pilots don't need runways. Brilliant! Right? That's fantastic. And also kind of true because helicopter pilots are friggin' nuts. There's Sancho wearing the gear now, right? Real pilots don't need runways. It's very good, isn't it? So do be sure to check them out, lads. And if you're going to buy us something, save yourself 10% using the link above. But a shout out to Gibbo and all the work that he does with Flight Sim Tees. I mean, we just don't have this in Flight Sim, and it's great to see it. Great to see it. Your Airwolf one got some love at work the other day, says Chalks. Nice. Chalks rocking the Airwolf t-shirt in the workplace, which was this one. They built it to be an unbeatable air weapon. They never expected someone to steal it. Right. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Hammer Nails, good to see you. So yeah, check it all out, lads. It's class stuff. The quality of the material, it's top notch. Gibbo makes all of these himself, right? Himself. So you know the quality is there. Absolutely brilliant. So do be sure to check it out. And a massive shout out to Flight Sim Tees. Now, moving on. Frankfurt's Manhattan skyline gets a new city pack for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. Frankfurt's cluster of skyscrapers, the one locals nickname Manhattan, sits just off final approach out of Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot, and it's one of the few proper high-rise skylines anywhere in continental Europe. The problem is the default rendition has never quite done it justice, and most popular custom opinion or option has been untouched since 2020. So there's been a real gap. Die-Flyer Direct has put out a Frankfurt City Pack for both 2020 and 2024, and it includes some 200 handcrafted buildings. What? Before and after shots, and like these are game changers. Before, after. Look at the lights even. Before, after. That class looking. Right, so this is a huge upgrade. Got some nice. Jesus, that looks lovely. I'll have to explore here now. Look, Tarnish, good to see you, bud. So they're putting handcrafted buildings into photogrammetry, and well, we've seen it done before, and it works very, very well. The Frankfurt City Pack, it's available over on Contrail. It's listed for about €10, right? €10. And don't forget, of course, if you join the MSFS add-ons Captain's Club, you get discounts left, right, and centre, including one for Contrail. So it becomes even cheaper, right? Now, Orbex. They have released Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson for Flight Sim 2024. Bit of drama behind this one. And I don't think Orbex have done themselves any favours here because, they're getting backlash from folks who were streaming this. That was a bullet I dodged. But the lads who did stream it weren't told about certain things that was included in the software. And then they came under the same kind of damnation of Orbex when they were like, yeah, we put in this DRM stuff. But it's okay, we're going to take it out now because the flight sim community basically told us to shag off. I mean, that's basically what happened. But it kind of takes away from the fact of how good a scenery is, within reason, or is it not good at all? The verdict is out. I haven't touched it, and the reason being is there was just when I saw this DRM story, I was like, "Whoa, pull up the handbrake!" Because I need to learn more about it. Practically Geek did a good old showcase on this, and Jamie did a fairly good one as well. It's a huge airport, massive airport. Great to see Atlanta finally coming into the sim. But I think there's a bit of jiggery-pokery going on here. If I'm not mistaken, Simblitz did a video on this as well, where it's like, some of the coding inside the buildings was using like AI and it just like slop, right? But I can't be sure. Put it this way, Jamie won't be getting anything else from Orbex again. I doubt that very much. Jamie's like the biggest and largest and most viewed flight sim content creator on the platform. They may get over themselves, right? And to be honest, Orbex are in the game a long time. What has happened over the last couple of weeks, to be fair to Orbex, is completely out of character. Completely. So someone somewhere is going to get a kick in the arse, and I imagine all will be grand. I would hope so, because Orbex are just at this for far too long. They don't kick too many wides, you know what I mean? So let's see how that all unfolds. But yeah, as I said, I haven't checked it out yet, lads. I will. It's on my list of things to do, but I wasn't quite sure when it came to this DRM issue that I was reading. As I said, Practically Geek did a really nice review on it, and there is a trailer here we can check out briefly. I need to stop that autoplay. But I'll show you a quick look here, and we'll play some music and you can look at it. Because it does look impressive, or at least in places looks, very impressive, right? So I'll do a bit of... Actually, we'll go with one of those, look. So yeah, I think a lot of the initial kind of problems were there was LOD issues, it wasn't optimized, the interior stuff just kind of had AI slops written around it, not making much sense at all. The reality is this though, I mean, look, it's important that we get an Atlanta scenery, because, well, it's such a massive scenery not to be in there. And hopefully this will all be tidied up. Bridges that were like blown out of the water will be rebuilt. As I said, Orbex, they're in the game far too long to be, getting their name thrown around like this. They need to sort their house out. But once they get that sorted out, I'm sure they will bounce back from this and repair any bridges. Whatever Genius said, here, we want you to showcase this, but not tell them what was going on. Don't do that. Don't do that, right? Don't kind of, we'll just put that in there, but say nothing. I mean, did they not, and that's the thing, right? A lot of people maybe don't have that memory of what Flight Sim or FS Labs did back in the day. They boycotted the shagging thing completely. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's see what happens. It's on my list of things to check out. Let's give it another week or two to kind of simmer and let's see what updates are out. I know they're working on updates for the LOD. VRAM was a huge issue. There was elevation issues. There was issues. You know what I mean? So it is considered as get it released. It is. I totally forgot the LOD. Yeah, well, give it a few more days in the oven and we'll see what happens there from Atlanta. So, iniBuilds very recently have announced London City Airport. This is an airport we're checking out tonight, right? And worst thing about the Atlanta DRM was the guy who wrote it dropped out of college and used AI to help write it. Oh dear. Oh dear. The Impossible Face says, yeah, it's well out of character considering you've been very happy with their UK scenery in the past. Yeah, I've been very happy with Orbx in the past. That's what I mean. This is like out of character completely. This isn't their normal Orbx. Orbx are usually 100%. They're usually 100%. Nice people, very good kind of processes and structures and stuff. This doesn't seem right. This is like someone somewhere dropped the ball. That's what this is, you know. But anyway, back to iniBuilds, because London City, we're going to be checking this one out. iniBuilds sent us over a preview. It's been streamed by a lot of content creators right now because it's very pretty, and we're going to be checking it out on the stream. I've flown out of this airport. I never got to fly into it. Or did we fly into it? Did we fly into London? I can't remember now. I think we did. Anyway, I definitely flew out of it because I had to wait for ages. But anyway, beautiful scenery right in the middle of London City. It's one of these kind of special airports. You need special endorsements in the real world to fly in and out of there. I think NetJets have a hub there, so you'll see business jets. Usually Embraer aircraft fly in and out of here for BA. And you might see the odd ATR thing coming in here as well. So, yeah, looking forward to showing this one off on the stream here now in a moment. No release date yet, but they are working very fast on this, it would appear, for a brand new London City airport. We do have some options. UK 2000, Orbx, of course, they all have renditions for London City. But I think, I think we all agree at this stage, the iniBuilds sceneries, some of these are just fantastic. Fantastic. So we're going to check this one out in a few moments. Now, Spotty 26 brings flyby and AI traffic cameras to Flight Sim 2024. When Microsoft Flight Sim launched, one of the frustrations among spotters and content creators was the camera system. Flyby views, tower cameras and AI tracking shots were either awkward or simply missing in the new sim. Third-party tools eventually came to the rescue, but as soon as Sim Update 5's new camera API for SimConnect opened, well, there was an opportunity to offer a richer experience. Spotty 26 is a new tool from RK Software. Now, RK Software, you know of these guys, they made, whatchamacallit? RK Software, they did something, the friggin' Reality X, what's it called? Jesus. Someone in the chat will name it. Kills My Skills, good to see you, buddy. RK Software, it's the aircraft add-on, and it works now with Chase Plane. What's the name of it? FS Realistic? Oh wait, it's not them. Am I thinking RK Apps? Vasco putting Murphy straight into line. Am I thinking of RK Apps who did FS Realistic? RK Apps did that. Right, my bad. Right, so RK Software, haven't a clue. It's not them. But they describe Spotty as a ground-up redesign for the 2024 Sim camera system. Flyby drops a dynamic external camera for runway passes. Chase follows an aircraft. World lets you place a camera anywhere. And Tower sets up a ground-level viewpoint for airport watching. What separates this one from a basic camera mod is the AI traffic side. Interactive moving map detects nearby aircraft, and you can then find out what the airline is, the aircraft type, its altitude, speed, and arrival. Click an aircraft on the map or on the board, and the camera will lock onto it. The developer notes the tool works alongside all popular AI traffic packages, including FSLTL, AIG, FSHUD, Beyond ATC, and SayIntentions. The only thing, it comes to a small but active corner of 2024 development community. We've watched the same camera gap pull in other devs this year. Parallel 42 have been migrating Chase Plane to the new Sim Update 5 camera API, and Fabio Merlo's flight control spotter just received version 2. This is a €9 add-on. It undercuts the flight control spotter, and it skips the replay and cinematic render features of flight control replay. Doesn't say, Gibbo. Doesn't say. Because my understanding is it should do, but it doesn't say. It doesn't say does it work with multiplayer traffic. I need to check up on that. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. And the headache you have is because it's not going to be compatible with Chaseplane, you'll need to turn off Chaseplane. I'm very choosy now when it comes to different camera add-ons and all this sort of jazz. I'm so invested into Chaseplane. All my aircraft use Chaseplane. And I don't want to turn off Chaseplane because then you need to go back and put all your free... You know what I mean? You got to put your controls back in. But yeah, no, I'll need to check it out, Gabo. I'll need to check it out. Be interesting to see what happens to Chaseplane. I would much rather something that works with Chaseplane. You know, but for £9, I mean, look, you have an option, right? And it is cheaper than the flight control replay one. Could be interesting. Bob Dispatcher bundles several Microsoft Flight Sim pre-flight jobs into one paid application. Huh? Managing a big Microsoft Flight Sim library has been something the community solved with freeware software. The add-ons linker has been default since 2020. Recently, Perflight has wrapped up library management. So when a new tool turns up asking for $11.99 plus tax to do a similar job, well, what are we actually getting? The tool is Bob Dispatcher, a desktop content manager from developer called EK Interactive. It's now on sale through SimMarket. Launched on May 22nd, supports both 2020 and 2024. Where's this now? The pitch in EK Interactive's words is to cut the time spent manually enabling, disabling, and organizing packages before every flight. The parts you recognize from the free tools are all here. Bob scans your library folders and lists everything in one place, with filters by type, region, country, and developer, plus search and grid or list views. You can drag a zip or RAR file, or 7Z archive, or a loose folder onto the window, and the developer says Bob will extract it, classify, and install it once you confirm. That's kind of handy. On the flight prep side, it imports a SimBrief flight plan or manually entered route, works out which airport scenery and aircraft the flight needs, and enables them, with an option to switch everything else off. That route-aware approach is the same idea behind Perflight Smart Actions, and the older MSFS add-ons linker handles the library side. It stores add-ons outside the community folder, and then it toggles them through saved presets, but it leaves the flight plan reading to you. Where Bob Dispatcher tries to justify his price is in the extras side of it. It has a launch flow feature sequences the apps that you normally open before a flight, such as your chart tools, virtual airline software, voice clients, weather utility. Then it fires them up in order from a single click. A dependency map lets you link add-ons together, so enabling a parent item can pull in the related child items. And the developer also includes GSX profile coverage analysis, which checks your own airports against GSX profile on your system and offers a full-page diagram view of parking, pushback routes, and gates. There's also a globe view for every airport you own, a backup first editor for the Microsoft Flight Sim Master package, and a one-click shader cache cleanup covering NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Windows D3D, and the Microsoft Flight Sim rolling cache. Sounds to be very interesting. It's available now over on SimMarket, priced at $11.99. So we might have to take a look at this. I still think most of us are using add-ons linker. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. Traffic View Board for FS9. The most popular AI spotter tool back in the day. I remember that. Didn't Aerosoft do that, no? Yeah, this could be interesting. What are your thoughts on this, lads? Bob Dispatcher. We're seeing a lot of these kind of apps coming out now where the idea is, you know, figure out how all the gear works and then try and make it run smoother. And as the user base of Microsoft Flight Sim continues to expand, well, this stuff starts becoming very handy. Not only the user base, but with the amount of products. And I like that idea of having like a parent directory and then all the child stuff behind that. So does that mean, you know, if you're flying into Dublin, is it going to load in other scenery packs that are relevant to that area? That could be interesting. But anyway, now, AAU finally releases a Microsoft Flight Sim. We're going to be checking out these aircraft tonight, so I'm not going to spend much time here. The big news is the ATR, the AN2, the Latico Air, and also the Savoia Marchetti have all been updated to 2024 standards. Ooh. We also have the first Microsoft Creator Sale, which is now available. The editions have a permanent 35% discount on all Microsoft published aircraft, and the sale gives standard edition owners 25% off the sale as well. Discount list is long. It's going to run until June 4th, right? June 4th. So we're going to be checking out some of these aircraft here now in a moment. Vasco, with you very shortly now. Wind control. I saw Gibbo fall out of the bed, press a button and roll back into the bed the other day because he only went off and got his order in for the Wind Control 32 or MP. This is basically a radio panel, Airbus in style, and it looks to be the absolute dog's Watsits when it comes to flying using VATSIM or any ATC, because it gives you an active and standby radio frequency. And we got a couple of extra buttons here then as well, because we can go into nav. The idea being is we have nav in behind a glass shield. You click nav, it activates, and these two channels become your nav radios, because you have active and then you have standby, and even a course that you can put into these as well. So even though you might think you're limited to 2 screens, well, you actually have a lot going on here, because you can go nav and you should be able to dial in a nav frequency, or at least that's my understanding. The hardware itself, it's $74.40. ETA is about a month and a bit, depending on where you're buying from. And I gotta say, Wind Control absolutely bashing things out here. We've seen this already with the panel they made for Squawk. And yeah, the guarded features a transparent flip-up switch guard to prevent accidental actuation, which replicates the real cockpit nav key protection logic. Ooh. Real-time sync, realistic display. It's a 1-to-1 model. Does anyone want a Logitech radio panel? Anyone who buys that radio panel from Gibbo, which is Logitech, I'll even throw in a lanyard look. Right? Brilliant. Now, I will say, those Logitech radio panels, they still work. They work. But these are terrible sexy, aren't they? These are terribly nice. To be honest, I mean, look at my setup. I'm happy enough with what I have because I use a Stream Deck Plus, right? If I didn't have the Stream Deck Plus, I would be getting this straight away. Straight away. Because this has been needed for so long, and there's been plenty of like different kind of digital options. I remember me and Gibbo were on the hunt. We went off and we got like iPad, friggin', like we searched the world for proper radio panels, and we always kind of settled on the Logitech one because it gave you these physical buttons. You know what I mean? Super fast delivery on the RMP, arriving on Monday, says Steve. Nice. But if you try and buy it now, it's pre-order, so you won't have it for. It says here ETA 45 days, so great to see this coming out from Wind Control. We're going to see them at Expo. I'm expecting we're going to see more on the overhead panel, we hope. So yeah, very much looking forward to this. Now, in case ye forgot, by the way, Moza, we were on the stream a week or two ago with Microsoft Flight Sim Official and with CDL and with Zach from Moza, right? And Moza officially aren't, they're not going to be at Flight Sim Expo in terms of a exhibitor, but they're going to be there, right? Because they're working with the guys in eStall. But it's worth just refresh your memory. Moza did announce a new product lineup back at FS Weekend, and just to remind you, a G1000 panel, an Airbus style FCU, and a military style HUD option, or not HUD, multi-panel, just to remind you. So Moza have been absolutely flat out, and my understanding is they've got another barrel load of announcements coming out relatively soon. Incredible times. The G1000 I'm very much looking for, and an MCDU in there as well, yeah, and an MCDU. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what this G1000 can do. All the Moza gear I have, I swear by it. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. The AB9 is currently working as a handbrake for Junior, and it works, right? And the new throttles that I have, I just need to implement them into my setup. The gear is class. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing. We'll try and grab a hold of Zach at Expo to figure out, hey, when's the thing? Because that G1000, that's beautiful looking, man. I'd love that. Anyway. Tempted to get the MTQ throttle. Malky, they're gorgeous, man. Like, they are gorgeous. I have all the gear here. So, yeah, man, they're gorgeous. Now, speaking of Expo, DCS stuff, because we know that the F100D is going to be, showcased there, right? The pre-order deadline, Grinelli have shared the new development report for the DCS F100 Super Sabre. We got some video action here showing the crack. So, Grinelli designs, these are going to be at Flight Sim Expo. They have a ton of stuff to show off, and you can see it all here on the trailer, because it's just mind-boggling, I think, what they've managed to dial into this machine, right? Now, it is over on the DCS platform, but, you know, for anyone involved with DCS pilots rejoice, because it looks like you're getting an absolute smashing aircraft. Smashing, do you know? And then the realism when it comes to like, heat radar, weapon systems, all that jazz is in there, right? So, yeah, this is going to be very class, methinks. Plus the trailers that are done for DCS are just unbelievable, you know, unbelievable. So there's a lot of stuff on the way to DCS, including that of Grinelli's. The DCS F-14 Tomcat is leaving early access soon. Significant set of external model additions have also been planned for the F-14A. Heatblur also confirming the dedicated Persian Gulf early F-14 campaign has been moved to a post-release date to allow for further polish. So lots of more stuff coming along the way over in the world of DCS. F-14 is probably one of the best modules over there. It is staggeringly good. It's a beautiful aircraft. It's great to see that we have this version, or very close to it now, in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is absolutely great news as well. Plus, they're going to be working on the DTC updates for the F-16 and F-18. The DTC is all to do with the, the data transfer stuff. So yeah, lots of stuff coming out for DCS, which is great to see as well. Now, when it comes to SayIntentions, we did our flight last night using SayIntentions from start to finish. We had a look at the taxi tuner. We had ATC controllers from Manchester all the way over to Shannon, and then Shannon back up to Dublin. We got our clearance. We got the whole thing, start to finish. It worked incredibly well. Plus, we had co-pilot activity from Oz Flight Simmer, and Shane was able to look after things for us, which was great. What news came out the previous week, though, was that SayIntentions.ai have launched Skynet Live multiplayer for X-Plane. This is huge news, massive news, because this is now opening the gates to all flight simulation, because it doesn't matter what sim you're on now, you can still all fly and operate together. So they've officially launched Skynet Live multiplayer for X-Plane, bringing the shared multiplayer environment to the platform for the very first time. X-Plane pilots can now see and fly alongside other SayIntention users or SayIntentions.ai users in real time, including those flying in Flight Sim 2020 and Flight Sim 2024. So we could be in Flight Sim 24 on SayIntentions with Skynet, and if there's someone over in the world of X-Plane, well then we can now see each other, right? Microsoft Flight Sim will render their aircraft as a Microsoft Flight Sim aircraft, and then the pilot over on X-Plane, well, they'll render the Flight Sim aircraft into an X-Plane aircraft. Like, brilliant. Brilliant. Now, we need to ask Marvin, because I need to test this out fully. This also gives us the ability for the old communication, I think, Marvin, doesn't it? Which is massive, right? And if not yet, I imagine it's coming soon. The ability then to be able to talk to different pilots on different platforms. What? Right? The new feature creates a fully cross-platform environment. Yeah, we can use SayIntentions Radio with X-Plane. Like, that's brilliant, right? The new feature creates a fully cross-platform environment, allowing pilots across supported simulators to share the same skies. According to SayIntentions.ai, the goal is to make airports feel busier, long-haul flights less isolated, and the overall flying experience more connected. A key feature of the release is the common shape library, model matching, which enables multiplayer aircraft to appear with the correct aircraft types and liveries rather than the generic placeholders. Users can configure the system using the popular CSL packages such as Bluebell over in X-Plane. And to get started, you need to update the SayIntentions.ai client to version 4.1.14 or newer, enable Skynet multiplayer through the portal, and configure their CSL library within X-Plane itself. While Skynet Live multiplayer is now available, SayIntentions.ai clarified it's not yet its planned AI traffic injection system for X-Plane. Instead, the company describes the release as the first steps towards future traffic injection and full ATC sequencing capabilities on that platform. It's amazing. I think this is amazing because, look, I think there's a relatively small cohort of users who only use X-Plane, right? I think what we're starting to see more now is there's a larger group of people who are using both X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm one of those. I fall into that category. I think that, if you had the option to say, right, listen, I want to fly tonight, but I want to fly with all my buddies. Well, up until this point, JoinFS kind of, sort of, nearly, but X-Plane was weird and it needed its own X-Plane JoinFS client. It was just messy. This now all works within SayIntentions. And we're going to test this out soon. I'm going to load in with X-Plane, right? And hopefully you guys will fly along on Microsoft Flight Sim, and it'll be very interesting to see how it all turns out. This is great news. Absolutely great news. And again, it just goes to show this is SayIntentions.ai or .ai. I can't speak English. These are features that they're just pushing out into the platform for the crack of it. They're just like, we're after building this. Here you go. Have at it. What? It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Fun start. There's more X-Plane users on Skynet than Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 users right now. Yeah, dude. Like, X-Plane is very popular, and there's, SayIntentions XYZ. It's terrible, Gibbo. It's terrible. I can't say anything. English is broken. Murph is broken. But I'm very excited for this, and it is great to see what SayIntentions are doing here. There's very few developers who are looking across all spectrums of Flight Sim. There's very few of them. Just Flight, right? Aerosoft, iniBuilds to an extent, but like, there's not that many who are looking at all the different ones. It's great to see. Great to see. Sky Command is here. Good to see you. Is there any way you can better manage the queue for your autograph at Expo? Last year we waited hours. It was worth it, but still. Great to see you, Sky. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're looking well. Is that a new cologne? You're looking gorgeous. Right. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. So, yeah. That's great news from SayIntentions. As I said, we're going to check it out really, really soon. And just rejoice. Rejoice. Brilliant. The world is now becoming all complete and connected. Right. This is an aircraft, but before we get to the aircraft, we're going to give Vasco a shout. Because I'm very late and we've stuff to show you. So I'm going to start the call. Hopefully this works now. Because you know what I'm like. Right now? Hello?
Hello there.
Oh, hang on. Look, this works.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, wait, I'm getting feedback. You might have to mute your stream because I'll hear myself twice.
Hear me?
Oh, wait, I'm getting feedback. You might have to mute your stream because I'll hear myself twice.
Sorry.
You're okay. Right now.
What about now? Can you?
Very good. I just need
to hear me now?
I think I can. I can hear you and I can see you and everything works. Vasco, you're very welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for taking the time for talking to us tonight.
Well, it's a pleasure. Finally, I saw your invitation, so I was thinking, what took you so long? But yeah, it's great. So it's great to be here. Hello, everyone.
So anyone who doesn't know, Vasco is behind MSFSaddons.com, the website we were checking out tonight with all the news and the information. There's I can hear myself twice. Turn off your sound there, will you?
Let me just grab my headsets. Probably.
Not that I don't like hearing myself. I have a lovely voice.
Let me see. Just give me a minute.
Take your time. All is well. That's why we do these things live. It's fun. Now, that's why we're waiting. If you do have any questions for Vasco, we'll be asking a couple of questions here now in a bit as well. So if you have any questions in relation to the website or even just questions for Vasco, I mean, he's been looking at Flight Sim add-ons for years and years. Now, that sounds great to me, Vasco. Can you still hear me?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep, perfectly.
The man is a genius. He's fixed it.
Sorry about that.
Not at all. Not at all. So, Vasco, where did this all begin? How did you get into writing articles and, following news for flight simulation? I mean, you go back what? How long is MSFS add-ons there? Is it 5-6 years now?
Yeah, it was just just a few days after MSFS 2020 came out. So I'm pretty sure the website has about the same age as the 2020 version of the sim. I would say maybe a week after the launch, so almost 6 years now. So it was in August, I think, in 2020. So it's been almost 6 years. So yeah, and the way it started, basically, I noticed very quickly after 2020 came out that there was going to be a thriving community, especially in the development side, both of freeware and payware add-ons and mods. And at the time, I remember we were still there was still COVID. I had some free time. I didn't have to commute as much yet, so I had some free time. And my idea at the time was to build something for people to actually download stuff, for people to get freeware mods or something like that.
Mhm.
That was my idea at the time, because I thought that right at when MSFS 2020 came out, we saw the quickly the dynamic that started on the third-party development community, but also at the same time, FlightSim.io quickly took off. So I thought, okay, there's no way I can build something that is as popular as FlightSim.io became so early on. So I kind of pivoted to to thinking more or less like, okay, there's so much stuff getting released, so many updates, especially at the time on the freeware side, because the third party, the payware development side still had still needed some time to kick in. So I decided, okay, maybe my role, the role that I can have for the community, is to sort of separate the wet from the chaff. You know how the saying goes.
Yeah.
And feature the things that I think are more interesting and most deserving of your attention, amongst all the noise that was already showing up at the time with all those releases. So that
Mhm.
was the main idea at the beginning. And it's been 6 years. I've stayed very faithful to that original plan, and here I am, still kicking, stronger than ever, I think. So yeah.
It's a mad journey, and like, you know, from your own kind of professional background, I mean, is there elements in that kind of has helped you in this, or has this just been kind of like a passion project that you've always wanted to do? Because I know on the website it gives you like almost 15 years of experience is brought to the table with MSFSaddons.com, so you have a lot of technical expertise in the background, because it's a very functional website. But I think it's also how you manage to get the news across to people. You tend not to be on the heavily opinionated side. You very much pinpoint the facts, get the information out there, and then, well, you leave the community to make their own mind up, which is, I think, the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's the way I see my role. Of course, I do reviews sometimes, not as much as I'd like to, because unfortunately time is not unlimited.
Mhm.
So yeah, my focus, I think it's always been in putting the content out there, whatever developers are working on, trying to find all the cool stuff that is coming out or will come out in the future, and give all the facts without, being too opinionated, and just leave that to my readers, just to decide if they want to get something that I'm talking about, if they think it's worth it. So I try, unless it's a review where, of course, I'm giving an opinion.
Mhm.
I try to be impartial and just basically informing my readers that this exists. This is worth your time, at least checking it to see if it's interesting for your use case.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
just going back to your initial question, I actually, my professional background helps a lot in this, because my daily job is I am technically a photographer.
Okay.
So I have sort of an eye for good images, so I try to make everything look pretty, at
Mhm.
least. But I also am a project manager on like a sort of a creative agency. So I have a lot of background in handling projects that are related with design or with marketing or with web development. Even though technically I am a photographer, in terms of project management, I have, knowledge around all of this stuff. And which has helped me. I started with a website that is still the same today, and actually fresh news for every one of here. I'm actually working on a redesign that should go live in a couple of months, I think. I hope.
Nice.
Because the truth is, we've been running this website for almost 6 years. It is very straightforward, and we will keep the same philosophy. But we'll just improve things, improve how the backend works, because right now we have more than 4,000 articles, so it's a lot of stuff already to load. So we are improving the backend, and also refreshing the design to have something that remains faithful to the philosophy, which has to have a chronological feed. So I don't want to mess with that experience, which I think is very easy for our readers. And we'll have a refreshed design. So I think it's time, and we are working on it right now. But yeah, I think all of this knowledge that I've had on my daily work has helped a lot. Handling all of this, both in terms of maintaining the website, doing the research that is necessary daily to bring you all the news and all the updates and things that nobody else talks about. So, and also, by the way, the 15 years of experience is both on my professional background, but also as a simmer, because I'm a simmer since
that
20.
That was the next question. I mean, like, outside of bringing us the news and the features, you're also a flight simmer. I mean, you're a huge fan of flight simulation. Yeah, and you flight sim. I mean, you've checked out hardware, you've checked out software. Where does that come from? I mean, is there an aviation background in there with the family, or was it just something you said, "Hey, this looks cool, I'll give it a look"?
Yeah, it's just something. I have those memories that maybe many of us have from our childhood, of seeing an airplane just flying above our houses and just staying glued to the sky, thinking about those machines. So that's how where my passion comes from. Is from seeing airplanes, just from aviation in general, just the technology, the machines, all the things that have to work to make all of this stuff work. In the real world, the airplanes, the navigation, the business. I've always been very interested in that. So I don't have an aviation background. So I started young with this fascination for aviation. And my first sim was Flight Unlimited 2.
Oh, nice.
Which I don't even remember playing it, but I remember the box. I have the box in my mom's house, and I see it from time to time. It's like 20 years old or 25 years old. I don't remember.
Wow.
But I started seriously with FSX, and then MSFS in 2020 kind of reignited the passion. So,
and your typical flying, I mean, is it airliners? Is it general aviation, choppers? What's your favorite?
No, it's GA. I am a GA flyer. I actually don't fly much. Most of my simming experience right now is actually researching and bringing you guys the news. So I mostly fly on the weekends, but I'm mostly, and I'd say 95% GA.
Okay.
Airliners, I don't know. I don't find them quite as exciting for me, especially with MSFS, which has those high quality landscapes. So I think it's really like we're living a golden age of flight simulation, but especially for GA flyers. It's incredible. So I have sometimes, of course, I do my flights on a 737, which and it's the airliner that I fly the most, even though rarely. But GA is my passion, especially the Comanche, the A2A Comanche. I just absolutely love that thing. I fly that thing all the time.
Love it.
It's incredible.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and actually, yeah, and it reminds me, the Comanche reminds me, I have a classic car from 1973, so it's more
Okay.
than 50 years old. And when I start it up, sometimes it starts up, sometimes it doesn't, or it takes some time, or I have to pull the air, or I have to check the oil. And the Comanche reminds me of that, but just with wings, and I love it. Every time it's a new experience. It's
Nice.
awesome.
What's the car?
The car, it's a Datsun 1200. I don't know if you familiar.
Google intensifies. So Datsun is
Yeah,
Nissan, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Nowadays it's Nissan. It's a Datsun 1200.
A coupe. It'd be
Exact. It's a 3-door. It's similar to that one. Yeah, very similar.
wow.
Very similar to that one. And it was very popular here in Portugal on the 70s. We actually made some here, I think. So I have one, which was from my father's. So it was the first car that I remember from my childhood, and yeah, I have it. I ride it every weekend, and I don't know, for some reason when I fly the Comanche, it reminds me of this, because when I turn the key, the noises are always different. So I enjoy that experience, instead of an airline, which feels more like a computer, instead of a machine that you have to handle and manage and has some personality. So I have stuck more with that smaller side of aviation.
I remember talking to Scott like when he was doing the AccuSim 2.0 for the Comanche, and like Scott would very quickly start talking about engines, and like, I've got this old fork truck over here and the engine does this, and then he'll talk about this old classic engine. But like he said, it's amazing. I mean, engines are engines, they're all doing the same thing. Doesn't matter if they're going in the sky or on over water. It's that commonality between them. And like listening to Scott, that's definitely what he tried to get translated into the sim, whereby every time you try and start that machine, it will be different. Every single time. Like, you'll never have the exact same start. Regardless of the weather condition, it'll always start that little bit different, which is crazy. But there's one feature, Vasco, on your website I've been following from day one because it's genius. You're keeping a full development log of all aircraft currently in development. And this is from Any Amount of Studios, and this has been up and running for years. And you keep a full list of the aircraft that were announced, or either officially or unofficially, who the developer is and what they're working on. And this is a public list, so we can all see what's happening. A lot of work went into this.
Yeah, a lot of work, so much work went into this that I kind of forgot. I mean, I kind of lost the time somewhere last year to update it. But I finally found it again early this year, so it's updated now. And I have to be careful because I know of of course, some developers reach out with sort of teasers for what's coming, but it's still private, so I have to be careful not to post all of that here. But this is basically the result of the research that I've been doing every day, and it comes out from developer announcements, from teasers on Discord. There's a lot of stuff happening, and I'd say hundreds of sources that I check every week. So yeah, it's a job, man. It's a daily job
And that's the thing, right? I mean, a typical day in the life of Vasco when you're working on MSFS-addons.com. I mean, I can only imagine you got to scour the internet. You're checking official forums, Discords, developer forums, websites, social media. I mean, you're watching the entire spectrum. And then you're going to go off and you might find the roots of a story, or as we're saying, if it's just news on this is coming to the sim, well, it needs to be accurate. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. So what's a typical day like for you?
Well, I start early in the morning, so I go off to work at 9 a.m., but I start at about 6:30, and I have a couple of hours that I can work on the website every morning. which is usually when I do most of my research and write perhaps one or two drafts. And then I usually publish either early in the morning or late in the day. Here, I live in Portugal, so it's like after 5 or 6 p.m. So that's mainly my main work schedule for the website. And then, of course, at night I also work on research and writing. But my daily task is basically to check out. There's sources that I check every day. Of course, I check all the other websites in the community that drive some news and similar content.
Mhm.
But most of the research that I do is either on social media from developers, is on Discord channels, is on YouTube videos, and my absolutely crazy inbox, which is getting crazier every day because I get emails every day from new projects. I mean, it's increasing. I'm actually having trouble keeping up right now.
I was going to
With
ask. I
all
mean, what's it been like? We say since Flight Sim 2024 came out, because yeah, a lot of drama around the release. It was a shambles. But then we've seen how Microsoft and Asobo over the last amount of time have really locked in to get everything, or nearly everything, come on, multiplayer, fixed and fully up and running. We're starting to see. I think we're starting to see a lot more projects starting to be released, but the reality is those projects started probably 2, 3, 4 years ago. What we're probably seeing now is more projects or development being announced, and I imagine you're seeing that, and you're flat out busy trying to stay up to date with it all.
I'm sorry, Mark.
Could you hear me now?
Yeah, I missed you for a few seconds.
So basically, so developer or aircraft releases we're seeing now, I mean, they started 2, 3, 4 years ago. What we're seeing, or why we're seeing probably, or why you're seeing things busier, it's more developers are announcing new developments now. And they probably won't be ready for 2 or 3 years, but they're probably seeing now just how big the community is, how popular the platform is, and they want to be making more onto it.
Yeah. Definitely, we see that, and we see developers that we have seen their work from the early days of MSFS 2020, doubling down and actually increasing the pace of development and bringing new products. You see that, I mean, pretty much with all the medium to big names. You see that with A2A, they have a clear roadmap for what's coming. With Black Square, you have a bunch of incredibly promising airliners. You have the Phoenix, the Neos. You have the PMGZ 747, the Bluebird, which has been in development for a ton of time.
Forever.
Vector, forever. Vector for sure has been working for years also on the 787. So yeah, I think you're right. We are seeing the fruition of all this work that has been happening in the background. Yeah, I think that developers are seeing that the sustainability of, because I think there was that fear when Microsoft came back to the business. I think there was that fear that they would drop 2020 and maybe update it for a couple of years and then move on and leave it alone to die eventually. But they have proven that they are committed to this. They have dropped they have released MSFS 2024. They are continuing to support it, and there's a lot of people who are passionate about this, who see the opportunity to develop for the platform and to bring new stuff and to continue to invest for years to come. So yeah, I think we see I think we see two things. We see the result of a lot of development that's been happening in the past few years and months now starting to show up, and developers are announcing their projects. But we are also seeing a lot of new developers coming to the community and showing their work. And I see that, for example, I don't know if you've noticed, but lately there's been a ton of new kind of utilities and software and career applications.
Yeah.
which I believe are clearly the result of people feeling empowered by AI, by like Cloud Code and stuff like that, who are helping a lot of developers bringing their ideas to life.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there is a lot of noise here, and you see a lot of stuff that sounds fishy, like that DRM for Orbex Atlanta.
Yeah.
But you also see developers genuinely using those tools to bring something really cool to the community.
Mm-hmm.
So it's incredibly active. Everything that's happening, it's incredibly active. So
Where
we
do you see it going?
yeah.
Like, where do you see the next couple of years for flight sim? I mean, do you think we'll get another platform? I mean, we know that what's the other one called? The Bush Pilot sim. I forget the name of it. It's been in development for years, and it looks like it's getting a lot closer. I mean, do you see more sims? Do you see Microsoft kind of keeping 24 in place? Do you see a new platform coming out? Deadstick, that's the name of it. Yeah. Like, where do you see kind of the next 5 years?
Well, I think we'll have MSFS 2024 still has a good lifetime, probably more than 2020. Mm-hmm. I don't think we'll have MSFS 2028. But I think they will continue to support it until eventually we get a new platform. Mm. I think Microsoft probably found a way here with the marketplace and with the exposure to the consoles, to the Xbox community, to the PlayStation community. I think, and I've asked Jörg this about the business. That's always something that has worried me as someone who saw FSX just slowly drifting into into oblivion. I was always worried about MSFS 2020 and now 2024 about the business side of things. And I've asked Jörg Newman about this several times, and he has also, to me, looked very transparently optimistic and happy with how the platform is working for their side. So I think there is a lot of future here. For sure, they will continue to support both sims that they support right now, and eventually we will have a new platform in 2029 or 30, I'd say, at the latest. But I think we are in for a great future for Microsoft Flight Sim.
Mm-hmm. No, sounds great. I suppose then some of the questions that we, as I mentioned with the articles, unless it's a review, of course. I mean, if you're just giving news, providing news, I mean, without naming names, right? But it'll be interesting to kind of get each side of the spectrum. Like, what has been the most shockingly, terribly, epically crap thing you've seen come out of a flight sim development studio versus what has been the most, groundbreaking, amazing thing that you've ever seen? I mean, you've seen both ends of the spectrum, and I imagine, with the amount of stuff that you research and you look into, you've probably seen a lot of projects that's just not good at all. In fact, it's terrible. Or, this thing is going to like completely change the entire kind of infrastructure behind a sim. Has anything kind of jumped out to you over the last couple of years, or?
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, there's so much stuff that I'm sure I'm missing something, but some things that definitely come to mind. Mm-hmm. For example, Captain Sim, even though they are much better now, mm-hmm. but in the early days, there was some really weird stuff going on there. I remember one time where they basically tried to take ownership of user-created liveries for one of their early aircraft.
Yeah.
Which was just an insane moment. But then in the other hand, you also have new developers that come out with an initial project that is just surprisingly good and sets the stage for what's coming. Mm-hmm. If you think, for example, about Black Square, Nick basically didn't exist, let's say, before he released those first analog overhaul aircraft for 2020, and he quickly raised to a level which is just mind-boggling. Each aircraft is just a masterpiece. So seeing those things that you never imagined in 2020 that we would see a whole variety of developers of new developers that have brought so much to the sim. Let's say, for example, Boris Vanyan, that makes all those incredible soundscapes for many aircraft. Who is just a young guy. He's
Yeah.
like 20 years old,
Yeah.
incredibly talented. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I find it hard to highlight. I mean, the bad stuff, it's easier, I think, to pinpoint.
Mhm.
But the good stuff, there's so many. I think it's hard. I mean, we can also talk about Phoenix. I mean, they came out with just one single thing at the time, that the A320, and it was immediately a groundbreaking simulation. So there's a lot of those examples,
I think
even smaller developers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a nicety or a nice thing to kind of realize that there's far more good than bad when it comes to our hobby, and it's not ignoring that there's bad. They're shocking, right? I mean, there's cowboys and there's all the rest, but there's far more good. And we're looking at studios now, as you say, started off with a relatively simple project and have now accelerated that process beyond anything they could have thought. Phoenix was definitely one of them. Fly by wire, of course. Even with iniBuilds, I mean, their story, the one guy, and then like over a number of years, they employ nearly 100 people, all the way up to FS Reborn with Raoul with basic general aviation aircraft, and here he is now with Phenom with friggin' FBOs, but I think the same can be said for the hardware side of it. You go back to your Flight Unlimited 2, it was probably the old CH yoke if you had one, right?
No, that was mouse and keyboards.
Brilliant. But like then through FSX, where kind of SciTech gear came out, and we were like living the dream, man. Now you look at it today, where VR has just that's taken a massive leap, I think, especially with Sim Update 5. But now you're looking at Laminar doing it with X-Plane. They're putting in massive VR because we have the hardware. And then when you look at the other hardware between your Wing Control and Moza and everyone else in between, it's you can pretty much build a home cockpit now for like what would have cost you maybe one panel 10 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I one of my last reviews was the Rosefire 737 overhead panel.
Yeah,
which is like I don't remember, but like 500 euros or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, it's not cheap, but comparatively comparing to other stuff that exists in the market, which is like runs like in the thousands.
Oh yeah.
And of course, it's a smaller take on the overhead panel, but it's very realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's some weird stuff there, I don't understand some of the decisions that they have, like a 3D printed. If you go to other end reviews, sorry, yeah, it's that that one. But it's incredibly fun to play around with it. The switches are really, I mean, it's really immersive. And we see that this a lot too now with high quality hardware that is coming with much more affordable prices and even variety than we had before.
Oh yeah.
And you're talking about Moza. I have their AB6. It's awesome. It's the flight stick that I use. Their yoke is also very good. There is Meridian, which is coming out eventually. Hopefully, I hope Nikki is able to realize his dream. But all of what he's shown me and what he has shown is incredibly awesome and promising. So yeah, even in the hardware, it's a golden age of gear for flight simulation, and I think that's also, of course, that's because Microsoft Flight Sim was able to penetrate in the market so much and get millions, an audience that is worth millions of simmers and millions of dollars. That is actually an interesting business for hardware makers. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot. We are in it's almost a paradise because we have so much stuff to choose from.
It is mad. I just see some of the comments coming in as well. The photo that we have, you have some Lego in your tower PC, which is cool to see.
I do.
Um,
I know it may break the airflow a little bit, but I try to keep it off the fence. But yeah, I just like to keep things fun.
I love it. I love it. Now, listen, it's a great insight, right? Because I mean, what you do on a daily basis, a lot of the time people just see the news and it's like, such and such a developer and such add-on or such and such hardware. But it's so very important. Like, there's a person behind that. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a simmer there who's just, you're doing what you want to be able to do, and to share all these stories, well, with the community. And it's how it's taken this amount of time to get you on for the chat, I don't know, but it's been so lovely talking to you because it's a great insight into that world. I mean, in content creation, yeah, I'll look in, I have to verify stuff, I'll talk to developers, and like anything, if I get my hands on something and it's not kind of right to standards, I'll go back and engage with them. If they don't engage back at me, well then I'd be let it rip, right? But if they're like, yeah, no, we need to fix this, there's always these kind of understandings. But then you have other guys who don't reach out to you at all and just keep, throwing stuff out there, like the M sceneries of this world. And for a time, it used to be Caronado. I mean, there'd be no communication. They just release stuff. But they're starting to get better, which is great to see. Plus, they're in the game so long. So, like, they're developing aircraft since FSX. So there's always a challenge there. But it's showing folks that, look, beyond all of it, there's a human there. I mean, we are just people. We can't be much more than ourselves. So we are just people. So it is refreshing to know that it's just people who are very passionate about this hobby, for good or bad. We're just passionate about it. We love it. And it's great to put a face and put a voice to all the articles that I've spent a lot of time reading through as well. So no, it's been awesome. Absolutely awesome. I mean, what's your plans? As I said, I mean, you've mentioned a website overhaul. You have to try and stay up to date with all the happenings of the sim. Have you any plans for Expo, or how are you going to cover some of that? Or
this year I'm not going to Expo. So I've been to Expo and to FS Weekend for like 2 years in a row, and especially going to the US, it's a bit of a burden financially. And this year I'm trying to just tone down a little bit on that. So I'm going to stay here, which probably is going to be best for my coverage because I'll have more time to write about all the announcements. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a busy weekend. But my plan is this year I'm going to stay put. I'm working on the redesign. I'm also working on expanding the benefits of our Captains Club that we recently launched and that you have also mentioned before. So those are my plans for the next few months. And for sure, next year I'm going back to the expos, to the United States, to FS Weekend, which is going to be in a new place, in a new venue. But yeah, this year I'm focusing on continuing all the coverage. I mean, I spend 3 or 4 hours a day doing this. It's my favorite hobby, my main hobby, and I love doing this every day, during the weekends, when I'm on vacation, every time. I rarely skip a day, and I plan on continuing that way because one of the things I think it's fun of this that I do is that I hope to have readers, and I know I have lots of readers, of course, otherwise I wouldn't be here, that come to the site every day, and I want them to every day to see at least something new. Because if they come every day, it's because they are passionate about this and they want to stay on top of what's happening. So I do this effort of every day have at least 1 or 2 articles out, and it's very, very rare to skip a day. And that's the idea, is to continue on that discipline to cover this every day. And then, as I was saying, I'm repeating myself now, working on that that new website, I promise it won't be any major change on how it works. Still pretty much the same logic, but with a refreshed design for 2026.
Awesome. And again, just to shout out, I mean, with the Captain's Club, what you've built there with this new kind of payware feature that you have for your website, just to explain what it is. Basically, what it is, it gives you more access. You can filter down things a little bit better. You can be on direct feeds for kind of news alerts rather than the full-blown articles. It's a direct way to support you in what you're doing, but you've also included many agreements and partnerships with other developers, meaning that there are, monthly giveaways. There's massive discounts among a number of flight sim developers as well. So you've managed to create something that, by giving you a few quid a month, we can actually save a lot more ourselves if we're buying add-ons within our flight sim hobby, which is genius. So I'd highly recommend anyone just go check it out, and the features are there, and it is a great way to support Vasco and what he's doing. And I gotta say, man, look, I'm a huge fan of the website. As Al says, Murphy would be completely lost without this. I'd be lost. And it's just the service that you bring to us.
Well, thank you.
Considering you're a one-man operation as well, I mean, we're FS Elite with Callum. He's built up teams of people, but you're punching way above, man. You're of one person. You're punching way above your own weight in this regard, and it is great to see. So it's and you've met with Callum, and that's what I can never understand this about flight sim. Everyone is friendly. I mean, you've met with Magnus, you've met with Callum, and you all get on. Everyone gets on. It's like, shouldn't you be saying, shut up, that's my story? Or, you know what I mean? No, you guys work freely, independently within the same industry, and it's cool to see. That celebrity death match that I wanted to see, it's not going to happen anytime soon,
No, not going to happen here.
We'll try and arrange it. But it's great to see, and it's just something else that what the flight simulation hobby is all about. We're all, for the vast majority, we're all very laid back and just easygoing. And it's amazing when positivity is the focus. It's too easy to be negative, and so there's enough negativity in the world. If it's positivity, it's amazing what can be done from that regard. So my hat is off to you, Vasco. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks a million for taking time out of your schedule.
Thank you, man.
And we'll have to have you on soon. Let us know when the website is near to finish. We'll get you on to give us a proper look around it. And have an awesome few days. Love the story of the Datsun. I never knew.
It's an oldie. Yeah, it's one of my. It's another passion that I have besides flight simulation. Is that little car. I just love it.
It's brilliant. All right, listen, dude, thanks a million. We will definitely chat to you soon.
Thank you.
And have a great evening.
Thanks, Murph. Thanks for having me, and thanks everyone. And also thank you so much for the very kind comments. I didn't have the best time to read them now, but I will check them out later.
Awesome stuff.
Thank you for being a reader.
Great stuff. We'll talk to you soon, mate.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. All right. Vasco from MSFSaddons.com. Lovely fella. And as I say, like, the work Vasco does is just, it is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And I can't believe that's the first time we've had him on for the chat, which is great. So we now continue, friends. Because I'm looking at the time, and we need to show quickly a bit of stuff along the way. So what we have here, this is the Aerosachs Tecnam P-Mentor aircraft that was released into the marketplace, right? And we're going to check it out here. So what do we have? It's a VF4 and IF4 capable aircraft, right? Now, in terms of compatibility, it works on both 2020 and 2024, but it isn't a native 2024 aircraft. There is no walk-around mode, from what I can see. I wasn't able to do any of the click spots, right? And visually, I mean, the model looks great. It's a very pretty plane, this. And it comes with a number of different liveries. And there's tons of options when it comes down to, the static elements. We can have the wheel fairings on or off. We've got a couple of options here, right? However, there's some kind of areas I found a little bit lacking. little bit lacking. And they're minor, but they're there. And I'm going to show you the first one here. So we can see here on the wing, see this kind of weird texture business that we have going on? And I think this hopefully is something that can be fixed relatively easily. But where you have very kind of sharp decals, right? Very sharp resolution decals. And as I say, the modeling is spot on because you even have like screws, they're all 3D and all this kind of jazz. But then you have this weird kind of a texture setup. See that like black line and how kind of weird it looks, right? So that's one thing to watch. If you're out here, everything looks absolutely fine. But only sort of fine. This line here just needs a fix. Be it a new texture map or a something. Because everything else is so sharp in the aircraft, right? Like the modeling is so sharp. But there is that line there. I don't know, is it for where the slats go or speed brake goes? It's a weird bit of texture. Now, if you're far away from the aircraft, it's grand. You're not really going to notice it. I notice it from the cockpit looking out. So when you're looking around, my eyes are immediately drawn to, and hopefully you can see that. It just takes away from it. What is otherwise beautiful modeling, beautiful texturing, in and out. Great job. But I just thought that was an eyesore. Considering how good everything else is, that's kind of weird. It's just an eyesore. So hopefully that's something that can be fixed. It looks like it's fairly straightforward. We'll wait and see. But with all the other bits and bobs that we have in the airplane, it's very, very pretty, right? It's very, very pretty. So we'll jump in, and I want to show you some of the features here. So we have a map over here. Always good to see what's happening, right? And what else do we have? Close that. We have then our EFB, or in this case, our little manual, a little book. And this is where we have some options. So we can show things like the co-pilot. And it's 2020 kind of stuff, but it works fine in 24. We can switch out the GPS unit. And then we have our exterior options. So we can put on the fuselage main cover, which gives us this cover. Right? Pretty cool, right? What else do we have? We'll get rid of that. We can open up the cowling on the engine and look in. And you saw that they've modeled, there's a 3D render of the engine, which is the Aerosachs 912. Which is beautiful to see. Like, there's lovely detail there, right? So you have all those options, and they're just controlled from in here. And then when it comes to the engine covers, pitot covers, wheel chocks, and tie downs, we can also remove the fairings, or the wheel pants, which I would imagine flight schools would have these off because they break. But if you want them on, well, you can, they're from the drop down here, right? It's pretty cool. And then we have our walk around inspection. I can't interact with it, but it does give us an idea of where they start off from. Pretty cool. So out the left, and you work your way left around the aircraft all the way back up again. And then to close it, we just click on the spines here on the side. Now, the inside, when it comes to the textures, very, very nice indeed. It's just done really, really well. It's just done really well. It's a beautiful looking aircraft, a two-seater aircraft. Cargo nets are done really well. Plenty of decals. It's just a pretty place to sit, isn't it? Isn't it pretty? Now, all our circuit breakers, these are all modeled and working. Right? So we have a nice bit of functionality there. And what we have here, likes of rudder pedals and our controls. Again, no issues there. Everything seems to be working just fine. Another bit of a bugbearer is the interaction system. So if I wanted to open the canopy, right, I can't click or drag the door handles. You got to use your mouse or you press and hold it. But it takes freaking ages. And we need to open that, this one, and then this one. You got to use your roller mouse, which is not ideal. So I don't know, can they change the interaction to that? A simple click would suffice. Or you add a drag drop. But having that as a roll dial kind of a thing, you'd be there for ages trying to open and close this, I think. But that's just my own feedback. Right, we're going to put some power into this machine and check out the sounds and all the stuff, right? So it's interesting with the Rotax because it uses a lane A and a lane B. Think of these as your mags effectively. And I need to do some reading. Maybe someone can put me wide to this. The main fuel pump will engage automatically regardless of having a fuel pump on-off switch. Because if you disengage the main fuel pump, but the engines will die, or the engine cuts out. I'm unsure is that the case with the Rotax. I could be wrong though, so I need to go off and educate myself on that. But anyway, battery coming up, or coming on. Avionics are currently off. Nav lights can come on. Strobes, they'll go for a beacon. Internal lights, turn these guys on. And we'll go ahead in our G3X. It's got a G5 here in the middle. So we have fuel tank selection over to the left. Prop goes full. We'll open up our throttle a little bit. And fuel pump. So a master switch comes to on. Fuel pump. Engine lanes. This fuel pump here, like, I don't know what it does. Right? But anyway, so we're going to go start a switch and then start the engine and we'll see what happens, right? So we'll say clear prop. And we have a good start. So we're going to go Avionics Master. Now the problem is the fuel pump is running all the time. And if I were to stop the fuel pump, we lose the engine. Now, I don't know, is that correct? So I need to go off and educate myself on it. But sure, we'll see what the crack is, right? So, let her tick over here for the minute. And we have an autopilot, beautiful comm radio here as well. All Garmin units, right? These are done really well. You have an autopilot master switch. That'll bring in our flight directors. We can go through some of our maps here, what we want to show. G5 unit is there. We have our annunciator panel lights. Great lighting, right? We have our pitch trim left and right. And then day or night lights, which is all there. Fuel pump, Peter heat, autopilot. A backup battery, which we get a warning for. There's quite a bit actually modelled in this for a very small general aviation aircraft, right? So we'll check out the sounds. Isn't it very pretty? It's a beautiful little plane, this. Aviator 1979, thank you for the bits. Brilliant. Right, Beavis and Butthead. Right, let's get some lights. Taxi light, landing light. And sure, we'll see what happens. Fear the Forage, welcome in. One thing I'll say about this airplane, outside of the couple of visual and one little small thing when it comes to the sound, this thing hand flies beautifully. Beautifully, right? And there's a bit of speed to this as well. So we'll go for notch of flaps. And again, the flap animation is done really well. See what I mean with that line? To me, it's taken away from the rest of the machine. Maybe it's not as pronounced in 2020. I don't know. Papa Justify, good to see you. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. Papa Justify, hope you're well, mate. Hope you had a great day. So we'll do a quick Kiwi here, get ourselves airborne, and we'll have an out look. Now, in terms of a run-up test, so rather than going mags, we'll be going different lanes, right? And I just want to show you that these have been modelled as well. Like, considering where Aerosachs have come with their aircraft add-ons, this is very... like, this is way up there, right? So, we're going to increase RPM. Yep, you devil, yeah. So, we're going to disengage lane B. So, 1485-ish, or... yeah, we're going to drop a lane. Back on. Drop another lane. And back on. Backup battery. Now, if I do this right, Main battery's now turned off. Backup battery's working. So it all appears to be working, which is great, right? So they've coded this quite well, I think, because it is both a VF4 and it's an IF4 capable aircraft. So we're gonna go for a quick lap here, just to show you the crack. All right, advancing our power. Watch the RPM. Speed's alive. Isn't that pretty? The wing texture looks like a low-res passive ambient occlusion. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Like, I'm hoping they're able to fix it. As I say, when you're looking around and flying around, it just stands out because it has that kind of a weird jaggedy line going on. You know what I mean? But it's very pretty. Flying the aircraft is very stable. Trim is easy to operate as well. I think the propeller animation is done quite well. $22.19, that was the price of it. So it's the Aerosachs, it's the Tecnam P-Mentor. It's a very pretty design. I gotta say, it's a beautiful looking plane, lads, isn't it? But I think where the aircraft really shines is the flight handling. Right? So it's not going to break any land speed records, but just to give us an idea now, so we talk about kind of nighttime flight and the options that we have inside the cockpit. I mean, we have a lot of options for lighting, haven't we? I mean, look at that, lads. Isn't it pretty? So I think the night lighting is done really well. And then outside, the lighting's superb. Really nice lighting. Flight Sim 25, Murph, I'm so happy you're doing Twitch for part-time. Part-time? What? I'm full-time, you mad divil you. Right, so we'll try a stall here and I want to show you. Right, hold. Stall warning. Alright, she can do that better. Kieran, thank you very much indeed for 13 months. Man is a legend. Thank you very, very much indeed. Right, I'll try that stall again because she will stall properly. Alright, hold the nose. See the wing drop? Like, it's just done so very well. It feels very kind of natural, and you just get that wing drop, man. It's awesome. Thank you, Flight Simulator. You're very kind. Alright, just hold. This thing handles so well. So well. So in terms then of your IF4 capability, there is an autopilot, full autopilot controls. And yeah, this is kind of like one of those hidden gems on the marketplace. It came out. We knew Aerosachs were working on it. Aerosim, who's the developer behind it. And as I say, the loudest thing is just that bit of a texture on the wing. But like, as a general aviation airplane, I think it's gorgeous, man. I mean, look at it. Isn't it gorgeous? Look. This thing is stunning. Very, very pretty. So we'll take it in for a quick landing because we need to go off and look at other stuff. But maybe if you were looking at this on the marketplace and you're wondering what's it like, I like it. I think there's a few of them in Perth and Scotland. You see them pop up on flight radar. They are becoming very popular, there's no doubt. And again, the Rotax engine is very popular. You can also open and close the air vents. Ew. And again, that animation up the top to open the canopy, I'd love to see if we were able to just have one click spot, rather than having to mouse over and like open the handles very, very slowly. Used to live in Scone and work at Perth Aerodrome, says Margin. No way. Right, we're coming in way too fast. We'll try a slip. Okay, she's doing that all right. Jesus.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Easy now. Oh, Jesus. I've been looking at Discord and I nearly binned it. We can fix this. Easy now, Jemima. Alrighty. Easy does it.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Cyrus! Alrighty. Isn't it very nice? Nearly had a very unhappy accident. Aviator, thank you very much indeed for the Bob Ross emote.
I have 10. I've been drinking like a mad eater.
I like the way we've options to kind of, you know what I mean? Make the thing feel like it's our own a little bit by removing the likes of the fairings.
Can I get a refund?
No, there's no refunds. Margin, you know better than that. So it's a fixed landing gear. That front wheel is mad looking. Easy now. But I really want one. Yepsy daisy. So it's the Aerosachs Tecnam P-Mentor. It's pretty, isn't it? Best flights in New Zealand. Nelson down to Queenstown. Malky, it's really nice, man, and the handling is superb. The flight handling on it, or the flight handling, is very good. I mean, you can throw it around the place, but like, I really like it. I think they did a great job. Great job. Right, we continue. Queenstown is ghastly. Oh, it's brilliant. Anywhere in New Zealand is grand. I agree. Right, we're going to load in now with an ATR. We need to configure it. So the ATR is balls. The ATR is part of the AAU update that we've been waiting for ages. Is it a competitor to the Cows GA40? Not really. It's a lot slower. And Cows have done like amazing things. They're at the game a little bit longer in terms of, you know, the deeper simulations. But from Aerosachs, I thought it was a great one. Great one. So we're going to load into the incoming gate 25. I'll go 23. This is the a preview of the iniBuilds London City. Now, it's important to note, it's pre-release. If there's issues or bugs or what's it, if you find anything, we'll be sure to let iniBuilds know about it. They are aware of a few of them. So yeah. So we're going to have a look at a couple of things. We've loaded in with the ATR, which received an update. And I grabbed the Aer Lingus livery off flightsim.to. And as I said, we're on the ground here down at London City. So we're going to load in. So the ATR, it's received a fair bit of work, right? Has the ATR. So effectively what we have, Hans has been, well, he's been busy with this. It now has native support for career integration, passenger cargo and VIP. There's a new CFD module. There's a new Air Tahiti Highline variant. We have new additional liveries, including Logan Air and Indigo. have also been added, along with flight plan importation from the Microsoft Flight Sim Flight Planner and the EFB. LiDAR charts integration, enhanced flight plan, and navigation displays. The textures on the tablet look completely shagged. What else do we have? Navigation autopilot improvements and TCAS resolution advisories. And according to the team, they've been working on this for a long time. So, well, what? Where's my mouse? There we go. So there's an LOD issue there with the tablet, it looks like. Or maybe that was just how I was looking at it. Who knows? So here's our tablet. There's a bug in this straight away, so it's important to note if you're having issues trying to get your stuff working. In login, where you try to put in your pilot ID, there's a bug because the enter button doesn't work. So that's the first headache. The second headache is you need to make sure that in options, go to the second page and you need to untick use Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 flight plan. Because if you want to use SimBrief integration, this must be turned off. Okay? When you turn it off, it should be able to work. If you still can't import your flight from SimBrief, all you need to do, load out of the aircraft, pick a different aircraft, go into the WASM folder of this aircraft, right? So you need to go into your app data, local package, whatever your WASM folders are, go down to the Microsoft Aircraft ATR, and in there, go into the work folder, the ATR config folder. Open up that and you'll see where it has a SimBrief ID. Put in your SimBrief ID. Save it, then go back into the sim, reload the ATR, and you're good as gold. That's if you're having problems. Not everyone is having problems, right? So what we have, this is our flight plan. We can set that, set fuel, set payload. Now, this was a flight shot into Dublin, so this is going to be upset. Your payload screen, again, this is all going to be dragged in from SimBrief. We have our performance calculations, chart access. And now when it comes to the aircraft, this is pretty cool. So you can remove all the ground covers from inside the aircraft, which is nice. Right? And then we have the maintenance area as well. Repair the engines, reset brake temperatures, and all that sort of stuff. All right. With the aircraft itself, as I say, it's the ATR was always a fine aircraft. A lot of kind of Airbus pilots start off in this and then they go on up to Airbus. At least they did that with Aer Lingus. Do you know what I mean? So what are we looking at here now? I have not flown this in years. So we'll go battery on. External power on. Emergency lights on. Sounds are working really well. And then our screen should be dialing up, which they are. Gust lock, which should be there. And then overall, it just... I think it's running that little bit better in terms of its performance, the visuals. Everything looks that little bit sharper. I think they've done a great job on this. Really great job on this. I mean, look at the engines there, look. The ATR is a pretty machine. And it's just nice that we finally have this updated now in 2024, because I know a lot of you guys enjoy flying this. Me, I was one of them. So this is definitely an aircraft I want to get back into flying soon. We're going to kill live weather here just to make it look a bit more, you know, nice, so we can actually see what's going on, because we're checking out London City, right? So that's the ATR update. We will fly it. I mean, you know, all the lads have been flying that on Twitch. Jamie, Kenko, they've all been flying it, right? So what we're going to do here, we're just going to ramble out because this is an incoming scenery from iniBuilds for London City, right? So I've no other London add-ons running. This is literally photogrammetry. And what I want to show here is iniBuilds have included a ton of their own scenery objects. And I mean, there's a ton of them, right? So we'll just get ourselves some perspective here now, because you can see where they've added in 3D buildings. Isn't this pretty? Performance, I have to say there's great performance, and historically I don't get good performance in London, but to give us an idea, 280, right? So some of the 3D building assets that you can see, and they're done really, really nicely, right? With tons of them. We also have the cable car, which goes out over the river, which looks gorgeous. And again, if you do see anything kind of weird or wonderful, just remember, lads, it's pre-release. There's a couple of things they have yet to fix. And I think it's always going to be a challenge where you're dealing with the likes of photogrammetry and all that, do you know? I never went on these. And like, they cross the runway, don't they? Or do they? Yeah, they do, look. But they don't really cross the runway, but you know what I mean? Has anyone gone on these? Because they bring you out over the Thames. That's mad, isn't it? That's deadly, right? And then, does anyone know what this is? Is that like a power station grid thingy up the road here? Again, you'll see the surrounding buildings that they've added in. It's class, isn't it? Anyone know the story with this? Oh, it's flood control. Ah. I never knew what it was. The Thames barrier. Very good. We don't have that in Ireland. We just let people get soggy feet, you know. We're sound like that. But anyway, let us approach it. They've included all these buildings up here. They've even put in a yacht for good measure, right? And I have to say, it fits quite well with the photogrammetry, doesn't it? So there's like an event center here. Right? I'm going to check it out at night time as well, just to give you an idea. Here's a good hotel. It's not a bad hotel. Right, that was brilliant, come on. Then we have this XL London. Look at the size of that place. Will this scenery be coming to Xbox? I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. The cruise ship is a hotel. Oh, is it? Ooh. I think one of the biggest things for me is at the airport, both with Orbex and with UK 2000. UK 2000 scenery was cleaner. I thought Orbex had a lot more detail. iniBuilds is a very strong balance of the two. And there's tons of more detail. The road is a major fix here because that was always a little bit kind of mad. Cars were going up and down and through it, and sometimes it wouldn't render correctly, right? So the bridge is done quite well. And then as we ramble in, slow down my camera a little bit. As we ramble in then, positively terrifying. Well, we'll go in and get a proper look in and around the airport. So it's over here. So like it has the power station and whatnot in the background. It's not a power station, it's a factory, I think, isn't it? But like lovely decals around the place. And where you have the rail. Bit of LOD coming in just with the fences and stuff. So again, they're aware of it, right? They've modelled the friggin' train station. Isn't that very good? So welcome to London City Airport. You can go down the steps and then out and around. And then if you've ever gone, like, as I said, it's not a huge airport. This is where your drop-off area is. And of course they have the classic London taxis. When I was there, they were actually building back in here as well, and there's no change. They're still building. And they've tons of stuff all down the road here. Look, buses and all the crack. But it goes on for, like, miles. Look. All the custom buildings, cars, factories. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, isn't there? Very impressive. So we'll ramble back in to the airport itself, right? Get my camera slowed down. And we'll go exploring. Don't know about the red chrome taxi. There's always one, isn't there? There's always one. So we'll ramble. Oh yeah, we're rambling this way. Right. When they were building that, me and my mate used to race our bikes on the front road. No way. So, busy spot. There's not much on the ground level. That's where your tickets go, right? They have a Pret in the corner. Soul and grain. It's very basic downstairs. Upstairs is where all the crack is. And let me see. We go in through security. All the way through here. Through there. And now we're in to the departure lounge. And there's some nice stuff going on here as well. Again, plenty of clutter. Do you know what I noticed? Seeing the sunglasses, they even have price tags on the sunglasses. Look, that's ridiculous, isn't it? No flights tonight, Nab. No flights tonight, buddy. So this is all inside the terminal. There's more over to the right-hand side. The Juniper Bar. I was here, we had pints and dinner in a restaurant. I think it was the one down the road there. That one down there. Heights, I think it was called, right? But to give us an idea, we'll ramble down this way. So we've gates down here. It's very well done, isn't it? Murph, I have an issue where I can't send my drone into places, and I used to be able to unless I enable the developer camera. Any idea? Is it native or is it chase plane? The native drone sometimes doesn't like going into buildings. Try the chase plane drone. So you get the idea when it comes to the interior, right? Chase plane. I think it depends on the scenery, Heisenberg. There are some sceneries that I can't go into the buildings either. Do you know? 777, thank you very much indeed. 21 months. Hi from me, Miss 777, and our two new kitty cats, Athena and Valkyrie. Well, hello, hello. Thank you very much indeed, 777. Hope you're well, bud. Great to see you, man. And hello to all. So, on the air side, beautiful textures. I mean, you can see it. The ramp textures are they're class looking, aren't they? Look at the detail, look. Very nicely done. I think there was a couple of issues with grass, but again, they're aware of it. The runway lighting, even the drainway. I mean, that's all class looking. And we ramble over here. Does anyone know what this is for? And don't say it's for swimming. Do people go swimming here? With the little them fellas? What's over there for? Rowing. Ah, rowing. Oh yeah, that makes more sense. But they've even modelled that look, right? Now, we need to do this bit of a test here, because this kind of tells us how good everything looks, right? So, let's see. Recep. Clouds. Ooh, and, you know, ah. It will get wetter. The lighting is superb, isn't it? We'll go on the, we're on the land side here for a minute. All the offices look, Jesus. Jesus, look at the detail there, look.
Hello there.
Ricky Stewart, welcome in. Ah, lads. I mean, would you come on a way out of it? Look how good that looks. That's very impressive, lads, isn't it? Look at that. Look at the cobblestones, look. We need coloured lights to show the reflections. Standby 1. It's not fully soaking over this side yet. Us! We might have to go down here a bit. Looks pretty good to me. It's definitely wetter over here. It's whatever way the weather is doing its weather. You know what I mean? I know. What does the tower look from the inside? We'll check it out. Yeah, there's definitely more rain over here. Tower. Yeah, the tower's decent. Tower's very decent. Right, rain be gone. I'm on up here. We want to check out the gadgets there. Practically Geek, good to see you, buddy. So you're saying there's a conflict. Okay, we'll go down and have a look. Don't they have one of those robot ATC towers? I thought they did. What conflict are you seeing? I think the tower is done remotely, isn't it? Yeah, big pole, big camera, yeah. Well, they seem to be okay. They look class, man. Jeez, the lighting in London is nice, isn't it? No, everything in here looks good with the lighting, man. Got some nice lighting in here. I haven't got it. So what is it? Is it just a conflict? Something broken? You have 2 sets of cable cars. Do you by any chance have the Orbex UK POIs turned on? Because I'd say that would be your conundrum. If you're using the City Pack for London from Orbex. I would think. Jesus, look at that view, look. And like, that's native sim. Murph peeking into people's bedrooms. Eamon, will you ever shag off, will you? But I was, though, I was. You disabled them. Now, disable them or remove them. Because you shouldn't have 2 sets. There should literally be 1 set. If you have 2 sets, the Orbex stuff is still there, hiding. Do you know? So this is all default London, but it's photogrammetry. Like, it's. You remember how shocking this used to be? Load in there now, you devil you. It's a lot better now. Oh yeah, they did the London City Pack. Yeah, no, you need to disable it. 100%. 100%. You need to get rid of that. And that'll hopefully fix it. You know. London. HMS Belfast. They need to fix the water levels on the Thames. They're a little bit shagged. I'm trying to remember now, when we were last here, make it daytime so I can see what I'm doing, right? When we were last here, we were staying, where was I staying? Over this way. Ah, brilliant! So we were staying up this way here, look. I remember we walked down over that bridge. No, we walked on the bridge, right? And you came around the college here, where you had to go that way, this way, and then up that way, right? And stay going until you get to the whatchamacallit. Stay going until you get to the college or the library or the museum. That's it there, look. Excellent. And then our hotel was just up by a greenery. There's the greenery. And there's my hotel just there. That's where we stayed. Right there. All right. That's deadly, isn't it? I fell... Stu, you'll remember this. We were drinking down here, I think, where we... And then we went up to our hotel for 1 or 2. And we fell up the road, and then we fell down the road. Do you remember? You had a lovely pint in the hotel waiting for him down. That's right. Man, it's such a big city. London's friggin' huge. But it's class looking, isn't it? And then we have the incoming iniBuilds London City Airport. So I'm trying to think, is this the big fancy radar gadget here then? It is, for the ATC. Isn't that him? Andy. No, do you know what? We actually booked the hotel. We booked the hotel through, whatchamacallit? Through BA. We did the whole thing through BA. BA now have the customer care capability as a moron. I wasn't impressed with the customer service at all. World cleaning customer service, me arse. It was shocking. The first fella, they were like, we're really sorry for all the problems that we had, or that you had. We're terribly sorry. Here's a £50 voucher to use on another BA flight. And I was like, do you think I'm going to go on another BA flight? And then they come back and, you know, here's a £30 voucher you can use in a future flight. So it's like, they have absolutely put me in my place. They were going to give me 50. Now they told me to shag off, take 30. And I can only use it when I book again with them. Ah, Jesus. BA putting Murphy in his place. Brilliant. But yeah, look, lads, I gotta say, what iniBuilds are putting together here, it's very, very nice. London City is a class airport. Plus, as I said, we've NetJets up the road here. You fixed it. Good man yourself. So here's NetJets. So we do have an FBO to fly in and out of here. And of course, speaking of FBOs, if you were so inclined, you just about fit an FBO in there from FS Reborn. I'm just saying. You could do it. Right? They gave me a £10 voucher without asking me because of a missed meal service. I didn't know I was missing. Now, nice. What do you think, lads? It's pretty, isn't it? No release date. I imagine it's going to be soon. But I'm very impressed with it. I think it's great. Right, a couple of more quick checks of stuff we're going to show you. We're under pressure for time, but I want to show you quickly the other updated aircraft. So the Latacoair, this mad divil altogether. Did you ever see this mad divil? We'll go somewhere now, let me see. Somewhere that has, well, somewhere that would actually have these machines flying, I suppose. Yes. Down here, sure. I hope the weather's nice. Wind. Calm the wind completely. Time of day. Something like that. You need to flip the meat in the smoker soon. Ooh. Yeah, they really did, man. So the Latacoair, we have flown this many times in the sim, and I've been missing this in 24, to be honest, because it is such a unique airplane, and it's a behemoth as well, right? Right, so we get ourselves set up. General. That should do it. And now we can walk around on our deck. Microsoft, it's Murph. Yeah, you've shagged it. Do you know the way you can place a deck? Could you not make that like a solid object so we can walk on the actual deck? Instead, be stuck knees deep into said... Right, let's not get bogged down with what happened there. Let's go check out the airplane. And you'd ask yourself, what delayed the release? What were they working on? Right, okay. Why don't they check that? Anyway, what we have here is native 2024 features, including that of a walk around, and we can use the aircraft, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Performance is better now because it is using an LOD setup. We've also added, or they've added, brand new liveries to the aircraft, right? Which is great to see. Beautiful flag animations. Like, look at the textures here, look. Aren't they just superb, lads? Look at that. You sure about that? Yeah, right. It's one of those, Malky, you know. Isn't that gorgeous? And then, of course, you have the interior. And these flying boats, what is the name of this flying boat? It is the Latacore. I used to call it the Latacore until I was told I'm a Muppet. The Latacore, no, Murph, it is called the Latacore. My name's Jeff. But anyway, ooh, so beautiful setup in here, look. I mean, mind your head and all, but like, this is how you're supposed to travel. Isn't it? Beds, friggin' beautiful seats, curtains on your windows. You've curtains on your windows. And then we can go forward here and we have, you know, the smoking room with the bar, right? A glass of your finest, bar wench. A ladder that brings you up into Bijani then. Welcome to the... I don't know what we call it. The bridge? Canoe Head too, good to see you. Look at the state of this, isn't it beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. The carpets match the drapes. Look at the detail, look. I absolutely love it. What's back here? Ah, the abyss! Right, go back down the trapdoor. Into the bar. Isn't this absolutely deadly? And as I said, like, we haven't flown this in ages. We do have a lot of options. We can stick it onto a tow vehicle as well. And we can use the undercarriage chassis for moving us on the ground, right? Quokka's here, good to see you. So if I were to remove the engine covers, the anchor, the dock, keep the flag, and we grab our little tugboat. Hang a left there, Betsy. Mush! You see now that a little towing boat is towing us. Like, can we just say how friggin' cool is that? Isn't it only brilliant, isn't it? I think that's absolutely class. It's absolutely deadly. Can you go on the boat? No. 1/4 impulse power and a cigar, please. Oz Flight Simmer, good to see you, Shane. Engage. This was how you travelled, lads. I mean, what a machine. What do you mean there's no rope? There is a rope! Look, there's the rope! But to be fair, the rope LOD is fairly crap. Straight on there, Fenton. Now we listen for the Bijani. Give it a moment. Any old minute now, plane. I probably forgot to do something important. Wait, what? I forgot to do something important. Yes! Now, friends. Now we witness greatness. 6 friggin' engines, look. Easy now, Betsy. Did you see the smoke and fire? We got ourselves a boat. It's not a boat, it's a ship. Right, flaps. More flaps. Right. You can turn off the modern avionics if you want. You know. Easy now, Jemima. It was a very fast takeoff, but listen, I deafened myself, so don't feel that bad, right? What? You know, isn't it only gorgeous and also mad? It's very pretty, isn't it? Easy now, you divil ya. Easy. And like, the fact that this is now working in the gadget, you know. She's working in the gadget. The year is 1933. Today we fly on the French-built Le Tocqueville. Entry requirements: a cigar and a moustache. It's pretty cool, lads, isn't it? Like, the adventures you'd have in this machine, right, and the extra bit of stuff that's thrown in there, be it with the tugboat, and, you know, setting up your own little harbour, but also then the different, like, instruments and stuff and BJ'ney. I mean, does anyone know what they do? What do these do? They do something, they work, and they're in French. Oué, le café, s'il vous plaît, right? These things could fly for thousands of miles for hours at a time. Isn't it only deadly? You can raise the floats. Yeah, there's a button there for them. What does that do? Is that trim? I don't know what that does. Ah, brilliant! It was the ballonets, look! Ah, Murphy, do you know what you are now? Ah, Jesus, then look. Yes, I'm just going to go down to the smoking room, or, you know, Jesus, the water closet. Right. Mind me curtains, will you? They cost me a fortune. What do you think, lads? So happy to see this back in flights in 2024. It is one of the most remarkable aircraft. If you look at the history of it in real world history, and the fact that they built this flying boat into the sim, this is just so cool. It's like so cool. You haven't made it until you've flown this on VATSIM. I'm just saying, right? But wait, there's more. We're nearly there now, lads. We're very late tonight. We'll blame Muse. We're going to have a look at the Savoy Marchetti. Because this thing, lads, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So let me see. We'll ramble over here, look. Set departure, shut down on the ground. And we're doing with those. A lot of history behind this machine. Like, these are all the local legends. They like history. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely incredible. He did a video on the 631. Oh, good man. One of these fine days he'll blame someone other than me. Someday. So here we are in the Savio Marchetti. Savio Marchetti. Isn't this Savoia Marchetti? There we go. Isn't this beautiful? And also alarmingly mad. Isn't it cool looking? Isn't this cool? Like, these are all released in 2020. You know. Remove insects. Get rid of the anchor. But, like, look at the detailing we have in here. Look how friggin' gorgeous this is. They don't make them like this anymore. Sure they don't. Look how friggin' nice this is. Now, granted, there's no roof on this, so it has the UV protection of, like, very little. But look what's directly above you. I mean, you'd have oil and everything dripping down on your head. But look at the detail. And it is a push-pull configuration. Twin engine. One on the front, one on the back. And that's where we live down there, look. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous flying machine. That's another flying boat, I suppose. And you might say, what do you mean flying boat? Well, in the pods here, like a catamaran, apart from our fuel tanks, there are also seats. Could you imagine using this as your kind of mode of transport? The old Italians, you know. Great bunch of lads. So again, we're, you know, we've so many beautiful options here when it comes to sounds and how it all works. So we'll power up this machine here. Battery. There's a little APU. Mags. And we'll try and start an engine. Does it need fuel? What did them red fellas do? If I give it a good bit of a smack, will it work? Kick it! Right. I'll try the left engine first, or the back engine first. Come on, Betsy. Yes! Right. We're working on the back. We just need the front. Oh, Jesus. Come on, Betsy. Build up that pressure. Yes! Isn't this deadly? It's like something out of a James Bond movie, isn't it? Right, fly, you fool. Look at the compass, look. Look at that! Beautiful. Hammer something to take it first, Andy. This thing flew across. Was it the Atlantic this flew across, or the Pacific? So, like, yeah, look how close the prop is. Jeez! The Atlantic. Jesus, look at that, look. Isn't it only gorgeous? It is beautiful. Oh, look at this, man. What happens if an engine blows? Panic? What if it starts to rain? Soakage? Imagine a bird strike with that thing straight into your face. It's very pretty, isn't it? I love this, man. These airplanes, they're so unique. They're so important historically, and they are so beautiful. I mean, the engineering wizardry at the time to produce this stuff, you know what I mean? It's class. It's like being in a car, yeah, or a truck. I think it's gorgeous, man. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful airplane. And if you don't think it's gorgeous, you need, like, you know, you need to question your life choices that got you to this moment in life. How do you not find that gorgeous and beautiful? 1930s, you know. Not my type of thing to fly, but love that you get the history. Oh, yeah. But like something like this in VR, you know what I mean? Like very, very immersive. It's beautiful. And now our last aircraft, one we're not, you know, a stranger to, of course, is the Antonov AN2, because this got a huge update as well, and now she's up and running. Cannot exit aircraft. Yeah, fair play to you. So we'll jump in here now, look at to an airport. Just need to find an airport. Oh, it's a helipads. Ah, airport. Le Mole. And do one of those. So we flew this on our first on the first night of the Earth to the Moon, right? Jesus, I'm actually parking this right at the fuel pump. So from Earth to the Moon, this is the first aircraft we flew, and that was the older variant. It's now been updated. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous machine. I just need to move it because I've all my covers on. Oh, you divot it. There we go. Right, so we need to remove all our removables. But look at the detailing, lads. This thing. This is superb. So, remove. Look at the friggin' detail in here. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. This always looked superb visually. From, was it ATC who did this? Now, does anyone remember how to fly it? I need one of those, one of them. Didn't I? Let's just have fun with it. Starter, yes. One of those, one of these, one of those, and we'll cheat. Austin Alf, good to see you, bud. In Soviet Russia, plane flies you. Uh-oh. Yes! Come on, Betsy. I need me aircon. Balls! Balls, they're the wipers. Yes! I found the switch for me van. Look at it go! Sounds are way better. So Antonov was technically this was built in the Soviet Union. These are a very, very old plane. But yeah, Antonov, I think, yeah, it's Ukrainian. But back then it was all part of the Soviet Union. It was all the one back in the day, do you know what I mean? Isn't it beautiful, lads? And I was hoping this is going to be ready. I was hoping this is going to be ready for our Monday night series. Unfortunately, it wasn't. So right now, I've no. Why can't I steer? Uh-oh. Right, don't panic, lads, but I can't steer this on the ground. It's like there's a tail wheel lock. Balls. Why can't we turn this divot on the ground? It's shagged! This didn't happen earlier. So it's like the tail wheel lock is engaged. How do I fix that? If I was a tail wheel lock, what would it look like? Yeah, I'm actually hitting a tree. What's that do? Where's the How do we unlock the tail wheel? What was that? Did you just hear the bang? Something went bang. Oh, it's the door. Wait, the door fell off. The door fell off. You're on the runway there now, look. Did that actually... It jettisoned the door! Right, don't panic. Right, oh Jesus. Right, Betsy. I broke the plane. Oh wait, have we enough runway? Yes! Big mountain! No! called air conditioning. Did you hear that bang, did you? We properly broke it. So here's a question about the Latacoair. It's a 6-engine plane and it appears to treat all 6 engines as individually controlled. So how in the devil do you bind engines 5 and 6 to a controller? I find if you shout at them, right? Oh, this is so pretty. Look at the cut of this, lads. Isn't this only gorgeous? This is gorgeous, man. Yeah, if the passengers now... oh no, hang on, it didn't. It just opened it. Close it. Really? Did it go that loud just to open the second door? I did it again. Did you? Ooh. No, close the door. Jesus, definitely close the door. Close the... Right, I fixed it. Brilliant. Oh man, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, it's so good to see these updated in the sim. Do you know they use these as crop dusters? Man alive, isn't it just a gorgeous place to be sitting, look. Absolutely stunning. Now we're talking. That looks seriously good, doesn't it? Hey, Fornax, good to see you. Beautiful. To get the full experience, you need a desk fan blowing on your face. Wearing a scarf, giving it all of that. Yeah, brilliant, right? Brilliant. So lads, that's going to do it for tonight. We have, we've checked out quite a bit. I mean, the avionics, or the aircraft and avionics update is incredible. It's incredible, right? Be it with the AN2, the ATR, the Latacoair, and that Savoia Marchetti. Just amazing work, and it's just delighted to have them all back in the sim now. We also previewed the upcoming iniBuilds London City scenery that I gotta say looks absolutely gorgeous, and we checked out the Aerosachs, the Tecnam P-Mentor, and had a lovely chat with Vasco from MSFS addons.com. Most enjoyable chat with Vasco. Such a lovely guy, and a great insight, you know. So lads, I want to thank you immensely for joining us tonight and for putting up with the messing that is I. And we're back to you tomorrow night. No, we're back to you tomorrow morning. Jesus, I'm up in the morning. Look at the time. Tomorrow morning. And yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I was thinking, yeah, I'll probably do the Starship again because I missed the Starship. So Starship tomorrow, and then we have a Vatson flight tomorrow night. Then on Friday night, we have our D-Day commemorative flight. So it is all happening now, lads. So I'll see you in about 11 hours-ish. Right, so have a very peaceful evening or day, whatever it is you get up to. Thank you so very much indeed for tuning in. Get well soon. And yeah, lads, thank you so very, very much indeed. We'll see you all tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Zulu. Till then, you take care. Holy crap. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. We're going in, that's it. There's no turning back at this stage. Jesus, mind the bears. Look at this big Aegis. Oh no, we're into dying. Quick, get out. Oh no, we're Jesus. Oh. Ooh. Engines are now off. I've just killed the mixture. Right? Watch this. Mags are off. Feather boat props. My engines are now completely off, right? And I'll know they're completely off because I'm going to keep an eye on the props. They will just stop, right?
Good. Oh, okay.
Oh, balls. Thomas, you big scuttling Egypt. Oh, Jesus, there he is. I don't know. Oh, I take it all back. Did you just see me scream? Oh, no. That wasn't nice at all. No. Into beta, reversers, flaps in. Get out of beta. Get out of the beta. Ah! That's weird, the throttle doesn't move. Keep an eye on the right engine. See what happened? The engine cover just got ingested into the engine and I've just... Well, it's about $1.5 million worth of damage. These are the things you can forget. Where you can enjoy compliment